You commented on
We
my
was
firstborn
together,
child.
like I said, we was together 2010.
Y'all never
I
was
met him.
together.
No, yes, we was.
Over the phone?
Okay, first
Over the
off,
phone,
okay, I
child.
wasn't talking to
Really?
you.
I don't know. I'm confused because I slept with the both of them, obviously.
Right, but when I asked you, you told me no.
I do not remember that. He know what's good. He really
Okay.
know what's good.
The case opens with a classic paternity conflict. Ms. Davis is here to prove Mr. Cole is the father of her daughter, Autumn, insisting he's the only man. But Mr. Cole, who initially accepted the baby and even signed the birth certificate, now claims she's untrustworthy and sneaky. He has sincere doubts, creating a tense showdown where a man's legal responsibility is pitted against his growing biological uncertainty right from the start.
Ms. Davis, you say that after accepting your daughter Autumn, Mr. Cole abruptly ended your relationship, moved out of your home, and is now denying her. You say Mr. Cole is the only man who could be Autumn's father, and you intend to prove paternity today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Cole, you admit to initially accepting Autumn as yours and even signing her birth certificate.
In a surprising twist, Mr. Cole clarifies he still actively cares for the child, stating, "I claim the baby. I still take care of the baby. Anything she asks for, I do. This isn't a deadbeat dad case. It's a man providing for a little girl while tormented by internal doubt. His issue isn't with the child, but with the mother's truthfulness, which makes this emotional dynamic far more complex and heartbreaking."
Yes, I claim the baby. I still take care of the baby. And
You do?
yes, anything she asks for, I do for the baby.
But you deny you are her biological father.
I'm just questioning right now because ever since I met her, she's been lying to me about stuff. You know, people been texting her, random people been walking up to me, asking stuff about her, and I just came here to
The plot thickens with a calendar and a rumor. Ms. Davis submits a color-coded calendar showing her intimate dates with Mr. Cole, but he reveals that just a week after the pregnancy news, a random classmate approached him saying the baby might not be his. Even wilder, he saw a text from another man who was mad that she was pregnant, suggesting he could be the father. The doubt was planted early and publicly.
Your sexual relationship with Mr. Cole, on this calendar in yellow, it indicates when you were intimate with Mr. Cole, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you started having sex with him here, and then on the 21st, you find out you're 4 weeks pregnant. And he was the only man you were with during that time.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Cole, when Ms. Davis told you she was pregnant, did you question paternity then?
not when she told me through the
didn't.
text.
The hospital birth certificate story is a saga in itself. Mr. Cole says he wanted a DNA test at the hospital, so when they came to sign the certificate, he pretended to be asleep. Ms. Davis admits she didn't wake him because she saw a text where he told friends the baby's name was Adam Davis until we get a DNA test. Her feelings were hurt, so she weaponized the paperwork. Petty? Absolutely. Effective? Not really.
Okay, so that's what I want to get to. So Ms. Davis, once you tell Mr. Cole pregnant, initially he accepts.
Yes.
So you all are going through the process of having a baby.
Yes, Your Honor.
And he's present?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now you have the baby. You're at the hospital. You came to the hospital, Mr. Cole?
I was there the whole time.
You were. And you just said in your testimony you signed the birth certificate.
Peer pressure enters the chat. Mr. Cole admits his family convinced him to sign the birth certificate 2 months later, telling him the baby was his twin. He accepted Autumn as his own because of their persuasion. But then, when the child was 2, Ms. Davis posted a picture, and the same other guy from the texts commented, "Your daughter looks like my kids." The doubt, once buried, was violently resurrected by social media.
Yeah, like 2 months after she was born. Cause my family had got in my head and just, she looks just like you, that's your twin.
And you accepted Autumn as yours, or you still had doubts?
I accepted her as mine.
You did?
Yes.
Because your family had convinced you?
Yes, ma'am, but then like 2 years, she was about 2, she uploads a picture on one of her social medias.
Hold on, it gets messier. Ms. Davis admits that in a fit of anger, she created a split-screen image of her daughter's face next to Mr. Cole and the other man, then blasted it on social media asking people to vote on who the baby looked like. This is perhaps the most chaotic paternity strategy ever conceived. She did this after he had legally signed the birth certificate, utterly destroying his trust.
Who were you mad at?
I was mad at him because he was going around also and was telling people, oh, I have doubts that Adam was mine, because people also was come to me and tell me that that Adrian's not,
I
that
was
he's
going
not.
around trying to get a DNA test.
But he had signed the birth certificate at this point, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
So he was legally Autumn's father.
The twin sister witness drops a bombshell. Under oath, she testifies that Ms. Davis admitted to having sex with another man 2 days before she had sex with Adrian. This directly contradicts Ms. Davis's calendar and her entire "he was the only man" narrative. The sister, under the pressure of the court, betrays her twin with a specific damning timeline that throws the entire case into a new, shocking light.
Hello, Ms. Davis. Thank you for joining us. You are Ms. Davis, Amber's twin sister, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and you're here to testify as to what you know about the relationship between Ms. Davis, your sister, and Mr. Cole.
Yes.
You knew about this relationship.
Yes.
What do you know about the timeline of intimacy as it relates to Autumn's paternity?
Let me just say, Your Honor, that Mr. Cole is a great father to baby Autumn. He's very active in her life.
The sisterly bond shatters in open court. Ms. Davis frantically denies her twin's testimony, saying, "I did not tell her that," but her sister stands firm. Judge Lake points out the obvious. Why would this specific 2 days conversation even happen between twins if there was truly no other man in the picture? The sister's testimony isn't just evidence. It's a character assassination from within the inner circle.
I didn't tell her.
That's two different states. Beginning of January doesn't sound nothing like 2 days.
But I didn't tell her that I had sex with him 2 days before I had sex with Adrian.
Well,
I didn't
surely
tell
your
her
sister
that.
wouldn't just make this up. She's called into court today to tell the truth.
But I didn't tell her that.
I remember her saying 2 days before she had sex with Adrian.
So if that's the
true.
case, the 2 days before,
Judge Lake masterfully frames the real victim, 3-year-old Autumn, who knows Mr. Cole as Daddy. The judge emphasizes that while Mr. Cole is the legal father responsible for child support, the spiritual and emotional support means far greater. This highlights the tragic human cost beyond the legalities. A little girl's world is built on a foundation that this DNA result is about to potentially shatter, regardless of the financial outcome.
she basically knows Mr. Cole to be her father. Autumn does, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
This is the man she knows. She doesn't know anybody else.
Yes, Your
She
Honor.
calls him Daddy.
Yes, Your Honor.
But to this day, Mr. Cole, you don't know if you are her biological father.
No, ma'am.
You are the legal father of Autumn, meaning whether you are deemed to be the biological father or not, under the law.
Mr. Cole reveals his personal stake, saying, "I do want to be her biological father because I didn't grow up with my daddy." This confession adds profound depth to his fight. He's not just trying to dodge responsibility, he's trying to claim a daughter to break his own cycle of paternal absence. He wants the bond to be real, making the impending result all the more devastating for him.
Yeah, I do want to be her biological father because I didn't grow up with my daddy.
Well, the stakes are high because this baby's at an age where she's gonna know the difference. If he's not her biological father and decides not to be in her life, what are we gonna do? I mean, he could be responsible for the child support but not be physically present, which is...
The result is a sledgehammer. Mr. Cole, you are not the father. Judge Lake immediately turns to Ms. Davis and demands the truth. Through tears, Ms. Davis finally admits, "It hurts. It's embarrassing. I thought he was the father." This is a raw moment of collapse where the lies she built her case on crumble, revealing a woman who may have even deceived herself about the paternity.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Cole, you are not the father. Ms. Davis, would you like to finally just lay it on the line and tell the truth?
It hurts. It's embarrassing.
The final brutal truth comes out. Judge Lake confirms the biological father is the other guy from the texts. She then reminds Mr. Cole he must now legally disentangle himself from the birth certificate he signed. His simple, gut-wrenching response to how he feels, "I'm hurt." This man fought for the truth, got it, and now has to sever the legal bond with a little girl he clearly loves and calls daddy.
So it is the guy that used to send the messages that Mr. Cole would say, who is this guy saying she could be mine?
Yes, Your Honor.
So Mr. Cole, you've been right all along. And you knew that in that hospital. Have you learned a lesson? Because now you're going to have to go back to your home state and get your name off that birth certificate. I see the tears.
The case opens with a 35-year-old mystery. Ms. Lindsay believes her family friend, Mr. Dannenbrink, is her biological father, claiming everyone in town knows it. He admits to a past sexual relationship with her mother, but firmly denies paternity, calling it a hit-and-run situation. This sets up a classic small-town rumor versus personal denial conflict, with a daughter's lifelong search for identity hanging in the balance from the very start.
Ms. Lindsay, you say that after years of lies from your mother and uncertainty about who your father is, you believe you finally found him.
Yes, Your Honor.
You say everyone in town, including his family, knows Mr. Dannenbrink is your father, and you intend to prove that today. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Mr. Dannenbrink.
Yes, Your Honor.
You admit to having a sexual relationship with Ms. Lindsay's mother, but say there is no way you're her biological father.
A bombshell from her teenage years. Ms. Lindsay reveals that when she was 16, an ex-girlfriend of Mr. Dannenbrink came to her house and accused her of being the child that came in between them. She confronted her mother, who denied it, and pointed to another, absent man as the father. This early, dramatic confrontation by a scorned ex-lover planted the seed of doubt that has grown for decades.
About 35 years ago, my mom does admit to having a child with Mr. Dannenbrink. And
How many years ago?
About 35, around there.
Okay.
And when I was about 16 years old, an ex of Mr. Dannenbrink's came to my house and accused me of being the child that they had had together. And when I had asked my mother about that, she told me no, that it wasn't true.
The plot gets a modern, neighborly twist. Ms. Lindsay explains that about 5 years ago, she and Mr. Dannenbrink reconnected in church and became neighbors. They started having barbecues and spending holidays together. She was too nervous to ask him directly, fearing rejection, so they developed a close, pseudo-familial relationship with the massive, unspoken question of paternity just hanging there between them the entire time.
My mother and him had started talking again, and we became more close, I guess you would say. We lived right next door to each other, and we started having barbecues together and spent a few holidays together and things like that.
The man next door, your neighbor.
Yes.
You believe he's your biological father?
Yes.
The mother, Miss Hampton, drops her own truth bomb. When asked if she told Mr. Dannenbrink about the pregnancy, she states, "I had no reason to tell him because he's not the father." She claims she is 100% confident. This creates a direct clash, the daughter's belief and town gossip versus the mother's absolute certainty, throwing the entire case into a classic he said, she said, but the mom said dilemma.
I did not, Your Honor. She never told me that she was pregnant. She never told me I even had a child.
You didn't
Your
tell
Honor,
him you were
Your Honor,
pregnant?
I had no reason to tell him because he's not the father.
So you were confident of that?
Yes, I am 100%.
But were you sleeping with Mr. Dannenbrink during the window of conception?
Not as far as I know. I believe that I got pregnant between June and July.
Enter the evidence, a calendar. Ms. Lindsay uses it to argue conception dates, claiming a doctor said she was a month premature, but was born at a normal weight with no health problems, casting doubt on the prematurity. Her mother immediately counters, insisting she was born at 5¼ pounds and was indeed premature. This back and forth shows how even basic medical facts become contested in a paternity mystery.
Outline.
This calendar shows, for one, the day that I was born. And if you count back, if I was born full term, the conception would be between May and June. And the doctors did say that I was born a month premature, which puts my due date at March 11th, which my mother would be right at that time.
Mr. Dannenbrink's testimony takes a wild turn. When asked if he agrees with the calendar dates, he says he couldn't tell you because the 70s were hectic. He then admits, "I did a lot of drugs back then." This candid confession of a hazy past completely undermines his ability to definitively rule himself out, making his denial more about a faulty memory than certain knowledge.
But
No, I was just a kid then, so.
I did a lot of drugs back then, so I really couldn't tell you.
Oh, Oh, so hectic has many levels.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
Yes, Your
so
Honor.
physically and mentally hectic.
Yes, Your Honor.
So is it safe to say there was a lot of sex going on during that time?
Yes, Your Honor.
The story of a secret stillborn child emerges. The mother claims the child she had with Mr. Dannenbrink was stillborn, which is why she never told him. Ms. Lindsay expresses deep skepticism, stating she's never seen any proof like a birth or death certificate. This alleged lost sibling becomes a pivotal point, representing the pattern of unverifiable stories that have defined Ms. Lindsay's understanding of her own family history.
At birth?
Yes, Your Honor, I had a stillborn.
And was that Mr. Dannenbrink's child?
She never said nothing to me about that.
I admit that, I did not.
You never mentioned it to him?
No.
Miss Lindsay, I'm looking at your face. It doesn't seem like you're believing a lot of your mother's testimony.
I don't.
Why?
She says that she had this child. I've never seen the papers, although I've asked a few times. And on top of that one, I've went to the public records place. There's no proof of her birth or death.
The mother's credibility takes a major hit. Ms. Lindsay reveals her mom previously hid a living brother from her, who found her via social media. The mother claimed she thought he died, a story the daughter clearly finds unbelievable. This pattern of secrecy and shifting narratives about her siblings makes the daughter distrust every single story her mother tells about her own paternity.
She got pregnant and gave him up for adoption. It went through social media that he found me. And I'm like, wait, what are you talking about? You're not my brother. And I called my mom at that time and I said, I have another brother? And she's like, oh, well, I thought he died. And I was like, what?
Ms. Lindsay describes the profound emotional toll of this mystery. She had a big hole she filled with things that probably weren't the right things. A stepfather abandoned her after having his own child with her mom. The search for a father figure has been a driving, painful force in her life, leading to a childhood filled with instability and a deep, unanswered longing for a dad.
Very crazy as a child. I had a big hole and I filled it with a lot of things that probably weren't the right things to fill it with. I'm still searching for that father figure. I had a stepdad at one point that abandoned me as well, so.
And so you had a relationship.
Yes.
With your stepfather.
For a small time until he had his own child with my mom.
In a moment of dark, small-town humor, Ms. Lindsay reveals one of her best friends growing up was the son of the man she now suspects is her father. Judge Lake clarifies, that could potentially be your brother? She confirms it, adding that not knowing her dad makes her wonder about past dating prospects. It's a heartbreakingly funny glimpse into the real-life complications of unresolved paternity.
Yes.
But you all were good friends?
Yes.
Just friends, I hope.
Yes, Your Honor. That goes through my head, trust and believe me. Not knowing exactly who my dad is, it does go through my head as to which ones I've dated might have been. So I just try not to think about that.
Despite the uncertainty, their current relationship is beautiful. They joke about him being her dad, with him saying, "Good morning, my beautiful daughter." Most importantly, he has told her 4 children, who have no living grandfathers, that they can call him Grandpa, and they do. This shows a functional, loving bond exists regardless of biology, making the DNA result potentially disruptive to an already established family role.
I want to say he's kind of like a father figure to a point. We kind of joke about him being my dad and me being his daughter.
How do you joke about it?
Just randomly, like people will say, oh, you guys look alike or something like that and things like that. Or he'll say, oh, good morning, my beautiful daughter or something. And I've never had that before, so that's good.
Does he know your children?
All 4 of my children. They don't have grandpas that are alive.
Ms. Lindsay reads a devastatingly raw letter she wrote. 35 years. I have walked through this life wondering who I am. The worst ones. Why did you leave? Would you have been proud of me? Why was I not good enough? I've always really wanted just my dad. This pure, unfiltered expression of a child's pain cuts through all the arguments and calendars, revealing the human heart at the center of the case.
I said 35 years I have walked through this life wondering who I am, whose blood runs through me, who do I look like, where do I get my eye color from, where do I get my nose? These are just a few questions that have plagued my mind. The worst ones, though, are the ones that still hurt me. The questions like, why did you leave? Did you even know about me? If you did, would it have even changed anything?
The result delivers the final blow. Mr. Dannenbrink is not the father. His immediate, beautiful response through the disappointment is, "It doesn't matter. She's still, I consider her my daughter." This proves the bond they built was real and unconditional, transcending the biological truth they sought. He claimed her as his daughter in heart, even as the DNA test freed him from being the father.
It has been determined by this court, Mr. Dannenbrink, you are not her father.
Sorry.
The case opens with a man, Mr. Boston, making a bold and frankly ridiculous claim. He says you gotta have sex to make a baby, and he doesn't remember doing that with Ms. Murphy. She immediately calls lies. He then backtracks, admitting they did have sex plenty times. His credibility is instantly shot, and we're left with a man who started his case with a lie, which is never a good look in a courtroom, especially this one.
Mr. Boston, you have dragged the defendant into court today because you say you have undeniable proof that there is no way possible that you are the biological father of the defendant's 10-month-old son, Tristan. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Murphy, you say that you are tired of Mr. Boston's lies and you want him to stop denying that he's Tristan's father. You believe the DNA results will be your
The relationship status is a total mess. Ms. Murphy insists they were a couple, while Mr. Boston denies it, saying she turned the friendship into her whole marriage. He admits to sleeping at her house often, sometimes on the floor, sometimes in her bed after having beverages. It was a situationship at best, a chaotic entanglement at worst, setting the stage for the paternity confusion that was inevitably going to follow.
No,
Yes, we were. Yes, we were. Yes, we
No.
were.
So wait a minute. So, Mr. Boston, you say you weren't in a committed
Yes, we were.
relationship.
No.
Yes, we were.
She done turned the friendship into a whole marriage.
OMG, like, for real, really? No, that ain't how it went.
Miss Murphy,
Yes, Your Honor.
so how long were you in this sexual relationship?
4 months.
Wasn't even at her house for
A truly unbelievable detail emerges. Mr. Boston claims he never even knew Ms. Murphy's real government name was Teresa. He only knew her as Bowie. Even Judge Lake is stunned, pointing out he'd been sleeping with her for months without knowing her name. This absurd fact perfectly illustrates the casual, impersonal nature of their fling and makes his denial of deeper involvement somewhat more plausible, if not any less messy.
Even in Chicago, it was Bookie.
Okay. What happened when you found out Buki was pregnant?
I say, well, congratulations. Tell her congratulations. Who was the father? So the lady like, she's saying you the father of this child. Oh yeah, so how far along is she?
2
You know?
months.
The pregnancy revelation story is contested. Ms. Murphy says Mr. Boston came over, was happy, smiled, and rubbed her belly. He tells a different tale, saying he heard a rumor from a family member and only went over to get the facts. He admits he was a little tipsy at the time, and the reality of the situation didn't hit him until he sobered up, which is when the doubt truly began.
He came to my house and knocked on my door. He was with his friend, and he came in, and I had my friends there, and he was like, I heard you was pregnant. I'm like, yes, I'm 2 months. He started smiling, putting his hands on my belly. He started rubbing on my belly. Now, during the time that I was pregnant,
Ms. Murphy presents a photo of Mr. Boston holding the baby in Chicago. He confirms it's him, but explains his motive. He wanted to see what part of me is in this child. He states he was looking for a family resemblance, but ultimately still didn't see it. This shows he wasn't completely absent. He made an effort to see the baby, but his search for a physical connection came up empty.
he came to Chicago to see my son,
I'd like to see that.
and I took a picture. He asked me to take a picture of him and his son and put it on Facebook, and that's what I did.
No, I haven't.
Thank
No,
you.
no, I
So
haven't.
what is this a picture of?
Tristan and Mr. Boston.
Mr. Boston and Tristan. Mr. Boston, is this you in this picture?
Yes, it is.
A second potential father is revealed. Judge Lake states the court has located Mr. Gregory, who admits to a sexual relationship with Ms. Murphy. He says when she texted him on Facebook saying she was pregnant, he blocked her. His immediate reaction was to digitally disappear, a classic move that unfortunately does nothing to resolve the question of paternity and only adds another layer of complication to this already tangled web.
Mr. Gregory, thank you for joining us today.
No problem.
We've determined that you, in fact, have had a relationship with Ms. Murphy.
A sexual relationship.
Just a sexual relationship. Take me back to the day Ms. Murphy told you she was pregnant.
She texted me on Facebook and told me she was pregnant. I never talked to her again. Like deleted everything.
blocked
So
The best friend, Kiana Wynn, testifies and actually helps Mr. Boston's case. She confirms there was a 2-week period where he and Ms. Murphy weren't talking, and that's when she started messing with Mr. Gregg. This timeline lends credibility to Mr. Boston's claim of a gap in their intimacy, directly contradicting Ms. Murphy's earlier testimony and introducing a clear window for another man to be the biological father.
My name's Kiana Wynn.
And what is your relationship to Miss Murphy?
I'm her best friend.
You're her best friend?
Yes.
All right. Who do you believe is Tristan's biological father?
Mr. Boston.
And why is that?
Yeah, I was living with Teresa the whole time.
So when he was saying he wasn't really coming over there that much.
Right, he was.
And he was sleeping on the floor.
He was sleeping in my bed.
The child support bomb drops. Ms. Murphy admits she put Mr. Boston on child support. Judge Lake calls her out, asking why she'd arbitrarily choose him when she knew Mr. Gregory was also a possibility. Her reason? She had Mr. Boston's birthday, his social security number, and everything. This reveals a shocking level of casualness in assigning legal and financial paternity, choosing the father based on who had the most accessible paperwork.
Why would you arbitrarily choose Mr. Boston and put him on child support when you knew Mr. Gregory could also potentially be a father?
At the time when I conceived, I didn't talk to neither one of them, but I had Mr. Boston information as far as his birthday, his social security number, and everything.
Judge Lake delivers a masterclass in reality, scolding everyone involved. She tells Ms. Murphy that filing for child support out of pettiness for him not showing for the birth is wrong. She tells the men not to scowl, as they lay down with her willingly. It's a powerful moment where the judge holds all 3 adults accountable for the chaotic situation they created together, with an innocent baby stuck in the middle.
For a child that you don't know is yours, you don't know if it's yours, and you don't know if it's either one of theirs. So the stakes are high today.
I just want my baby to have his daddy in his life. I don't need nobody to do anything for him.
So why file the papers and put his name? I want you to tell me what's going on in your mind.
In a brief moment of clarity, Mr. Gregory states his position simply. He says if the DNA proves the baby is his, he will be a father. He confirms he has 2 jobs and is ready to support the child. This straightforward, responsible stance stands in stark contrast to the denial and chaos that has defined the rest of the case, offering a glimmer of mature potential in a deeply immature situation.
Well, I'm not disgusted at all.
You're not disgusted?
I'm not.
Because every time you look over in that direction, you got that look like, oh my goodness.
Because I want the DNA to, if the baby's mine, the baby's mine. And that's
So if the baby's yours, what are you gonna do?
Be a father.
You got a job?
Yeah, I think I got 2 jobs.
Excellent. I hope this child is yours.
The results are a double whammy. Neither Mr. Gregory nor Mr. Boston is the father. Judge Lake turns to Ms. Murphy and asks if she knows who the father is. Her silence is deafening. The judge tells her she must put your big girl panties on and tell the truth for the sake of her son. The entire case was built on targeting the wrong men, leaving the real father a complete mystery.
In the case of Boston versus Murphy, when it comes to 10-month-old Tristan Murphy, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Boston, you are not the father.
The case opens with a classic other woman scenario. Ms. Allen claims Mr. Levant is denying their 6-month-old daughter, Layla, to keep their affair a secret from his girlfriend. She's here to expose him and prove paternity. He and his girlfriend, Ms. Lanier, are present and united, both firmly stating he is not the father. The stage is set for a dramatic clash between a secret affair and a established family.
Ms. Allen, you are in court today claiming the defendant, Mr. Levant, is denying your 6-month-old daughter, Layla, only because he's desperate to try to keep your affair with him a secret. You're here to expose that secret and prove paternity. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Levant, you and your girlfriend say you know you are not the biological father of the child in question.
Ms. Allen pins the denial squarely on the girlfriend, alleging she tells Mr. Levant the baby is too light to be his and that he doesn't want to break up his happy home. This introduces a potential motive rooted in preserving his primary relationship. Mr. Levant denies this, but the accusation hangs in the air, suggesting the paternity claim is intertwined with the stability of his existing family unit.
So you believe this is all about the girlfriend?
Yes.
Mr. Levant, are you denying child because you're trying to keep keep your relationship with your girlfriend?
No.
So you have a family together, you and your girlfriend?
Yes.
So there's a lot at stake here. You have children?
Yes.
we do.
How many?
3.
You have 3 children.
Yes.
The relationship story is a mess. Mr. Levant claims they split from his girlfriend for one night, leading to a single encounter with Ms. Allen. She insists it wasn't just one night. The girlfriend, Ms. Lanier, interjects, accusing Ms. Allen of trying to break them up and commenting on her social media. The conflicting timelines and accusations reveal a tangled web of interactions beyond a simple fling.
At the time, we was going through something and we split up for just the one night.
You split up for one night?
It was not one night.
We just split up. Like, we was going through some stuff.
Yes, it
we
was.
We had a break for a minute.
Yes, it was a one-night stand.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
You just married because I got my baby. So.
A long-distance phone affair is revealed. Mr. Levant admits he had a year-long phone relationship with Ms. Allen while with his girlfriend, though he calls it talking as friends. This wasn't a random one-night stand. It was a sustained emotional connection, making the subsequent physical encounter seem less like an accident and more like an escalation, which deeply undermines his claims of it being an insignificant event.
No, I was not.
You met her in 2010?
I met her in 2010.
When you met her, did you tell her you were single?
Yes.
Never.
Yes, he did.
No.
Yes,
He never
did, Your
did.
Honor. He was texting me on Facebook. We was calling each other on the phone in a video.
Well, how often did you talk to her on the phone?
I talked to her.
Evidence enters the fray. Ms. Allen presents a calendar showing intimacy on December 27th, aligning with her due date. Mr. Levant immediately disputes it, claiming the dates is wrong and that she showed him a doctor's letter with a different date, which she did not bring. This back and forth over specific dates highlights the fundamental factual disagreement at the heart of their paternity dispute.
So this is a calendar you brought?
That we.
So on this calendar, you claim you were intimate with Mr. Levant on the 27th of December.
Yes.
Your due date
was September the 26th.
Was September 26th. So Mr. Levant, do you agree with what this calendar asserts?
Not at all.
The plot thickens as Mr. Levant alleges Ms. Allen was intimate with another man, Mr. Mitchell, a day before she was with him. When pressed, Ms. Allen admits under oath that she was indeed intimate with Mr. Mitchell during the same conception window. This admission completely shatters her initial claim of certainty and introduces a second, equally plausible candidate for fatherhood right there in the courtroom.
It was not at the park.
I mean, at what
It was not at the park.
You slept with Mr. Mitchell in the park.
Like I said, it was not at the park. So
I did
You
not
had
mean
sex
a
with
location.
Mr.
I meant where within the timeline.
You had sex with Mr. Mitchell.
The stakes for the established family are crystal clear. Ms. Lanier, the girlfriend, is asked if their relationship of 5 years and 3 children together will survive if the baby is Mr. Levant's. Her answer is a firm and immediate no. This isn't just about child support. It's about the potential destruction of an entire family unit, with 3 children's stability hanging in the balance.
Child in February.
Yes.
Now, if this child, Ms. Allen's child, turns out to be your boyfriend's biological child, is this relationship going to withstand?
No, it's not.
This develop?
No,
it
it's
won't.
not.
So you're saying if this ends up being your boyfriend's biological child, the relationship is over?
Ms. Allen reveals her personal motivation, stating, "I grew up no daddy, so I know how it feels." She passionately wants her daughter to have a father, a desire born from her own painful childhood experience. This adds a layer of pathos to her fight, suggesting her actions, however messy, are driven by a deep-seated desire to provide for her child what she herself never had.
You just want to break up a
No, I
happy
didn't.
home.
So be quiet. No,
You've been trying to break us up since day one.
No, I didn't. Your man decides to cheat on you and me. Your man decides to call me on my phone.
Wow.
You
He
text
has
me.
calls and say, you want me up.
He calls you.
Yeah, in January.
That's a lie. That is a lie.
Mr.
That is
Mr.
a lie.
Levant, have you ever accepted that Layla is your child?
The text message evidence is a roller coaster. Ms. Allen presents texts where Mr. Levant appears to call the baby Layla and says, says, "Daddy loves you," he immediately and vehemently denies sending them, calling them fake. This creates a he said, she said over digital evidence, leaving the court to wonder if this is a desperate fabrication or a man backtracking on a private admission.
Happy Valentine's Day, Lele.
Lele.
Lele, Daddy loves you. Happy Valentine's Day to you, Carlisha. Then you send a picture of
Layla.
Layla. And then he says, Mr. Levant says, what's she doing? And then you say, looking around. And then he says, she looking for me, laugh out loud. And then you say, laugh out loud, nah, her sis.
Mr. Levant offers his theory on Ms. Allen's motive, stating, "She know I'm a good man and I take care of my kids." He implies she is targeting him specifically for his perceived reliability and provider status. This paints her not as a scorned lover, but as a strategic actor trying to secure the best possible father figure for her child from among her options.
Cause she know I'm a good man and I take care of my kids.
No, you don't. You want to take care of Layla?
Now, I will say this. I'm not overlooking the fact that you have reason to doubt. I mean, she's admitted that she slept with somebody else.
She been sleeping around with plenty other men.
No, didn't.
Besides Mr. Mitchell.
The second man, Mr. Mitchell, takes the stand. He confirms the sexual relationship, but is resolute in his denial of paternity. When asked if Ms. Allen ever told him he could be the father, he simply says, "No, ma'am." His brief, direct testimony adds little clarity, but reinforces that Ms. Allen was not pursuing him as a potential father, focusing her efforts solely on Mr. Levant.
Thank you.
We're in court today talking about the paternity of beautiful baby Layla. I would like to know first and foremost, did you have a sexual relationship with her mother, Ms. Allen?
Yes, ma'am.
You did. Did she ever tell you that you could be Layla's father?
No, ma'am.
She did.
No, ma'am.
And so, do you believe you are Layla's father?
The results deliver a seismic twist. Neither man is the father. The courtroom is stunned. Judge Lake tells Ms. Allen there must be at least one other person. She urges her to break the generational curse of reckless behavior for the sake of her daughter. The case concludes not with a resolved paternity, but with a stern lesson and a mystery, leaving Ms. Allen to confront her own choices.
In the case of Allen versus Levant Mitchell, when it comes to 6-month-old Layla Allen, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Mitchell, you are not the father.
The gavel bangs on paternity court. Judge Lake introduces the case of Laws versus Bailey. Ms. Laws is suing her ex, Mr. Bailey, to prove he's the father of her 19-month-old son, Josiah. She believes he's denying it due to his mother's influence. The plot thickens as she also claims he might be the dad of her 4-year-old, Jamari. This initial claim sets the stage for a dramatic and emotional paternity revelation.
Ms. Laws, you have dragged your ex-boyfriend, Mr. Bailey, into court to prove to him that he is the father of your 19-month-old son, Josiah. You believe he is denying paternity because of his mother's doubt. You also claim that there is a chance that Mr. Bailey is the father of your 4-year-old son, Jamari, who has another man's name on his birth certificate.
Mr. Bailey drops his bombshell. He believes the biological father of both children is Ms. Laws's late boyfriend, Mr. Davis. The judge confirms his stance, setting up a classic paternity mystery centered around a deceased man. This denial forms the core conflict of the entire case, with the identities of 2 young boys hanging in the balance. The stakes for this family are incredibly and undeniably high from the very start.
Okay, so me and Mr. Bailey actually met in middle school, and we kind of been like on and off. My mother stays in Arizona, so I left middle school and went to Arizona, and that's when me and Mr. Bailey broke up. And before coming back, I actually met Mr. Davis, and we was in a relationship for about 2 years. So when I came back, Mr. Bailey used to come up to my high school. You know, he never gave up on trying to
Ms. Laws reveals the origin story of this mess. She confesses she cheated on her then-boyfriend, Mr. Davis, with Mr. Bailey in a one-night stand. 2 months later, she discovered she was pregnant. The implication is clear. That single night potentially changed everything. The sheer drama of a life-altering consequence from one secret encounter is the foundation for this entire emotionally charged courtroom showdown.
Get back with me, because you know we left off in middle school. And me and Mr. Davis was actually intimate for 1.5 years. I never got pregnant. So that night, the first night that I actually cheated and slept with Mr. Bailey, 2 months later, I find out I'm pregnant.
So when you said, I'm pregnant, did you say immediately, I'm confused as to which man is the father, or did you tell one man?
The twists keep coming. Ms. Laws admits she told both men they could be the father when she first got pregnant, but she let Mr. Davis believe he was the dad, and he's on the birth certificate. The judge calls her out, highlighting the deception that built this entire situation. She created a web of uncertainty that now, years later, has ensnared everyone involved in this complex case.
I told the both of them when I found out.
You did?
Yes, I did.
So you told both men?
Mm-hmm. Yes, Your Honor.
Who was at the birth?
Mr. Davis.
Mr. Davis was at the birth
Yes,
of
Your
your
Honor.
first child. Who is on the birth certificate for the first child?
Mr. Davis.
So Mr. Davis was on the birth certificate. So even though you say you were confused about the paternity,
The secret keeping deepens. Ms. Laws says only Mr. Bailey and some of his family members knew about the possible paternity switch. This means Mr. Davis's family was completely in the dark, believing Jamari was their biological grandson and nephew. The weight of this hidden truth is immense, and you can feel the tension building as these long-buried secrets are finally dragged into the light of the courtroom.
The only people who really knew was Mr. Bailey's, some of his family members.
No.
So, Mr. Bailey, you and your mom are here in court today.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you remember hearing that she was pregnant, Jamari, an older child?
No, I knew she was pregnant with Jamari.
Heated crosstalk erupts. Ms. Laws claims Mr. Bailey initially said, "That's my baby." He vehemently denies it, arguing just because they slept together doesn't mean it's his child. The he said she said confrontation is peak reality TV drama. Their conflicting memories and raw, unfiltered emotions show how messy and complicated this years-long saga has truly become for everyone involved in the case.
My baby?
No, how am I gonna say that's
Him
my...
and his cousin was saying that.
Excuse me,
Him
can
and
I
his
say
cousin.
How am I
Can I
gonna
say
say
something?
that's my
Wait, wait,
baby?
wait.
Because you know
I
you
don't
slept
know.
with me. Because you know
Yeah,
you
I
slept
slept
with
with you,
me.
but that's not my baby.
Can I say something?
Hold on, Miss Laws, you told me yourself when I asked you, is that Mr. Bailey's son? You said, no, it's not.
I don't know. That's why I'm here.
Ms. Laws delivers a stunning accusation. She claims Mr. Bailey told her just days ago, "If both of these kids come out mine, I'm going to marry you." She's furious he's now acting oblivious in court. This alleged promise adds a huge layer of personal betrayal to the legal paternity question, making his current denial seem even more calculated and infuriating from her very passionate perspective.
You know what I mean? So why even sit here and lie like you don't even know it's a possibility? That junk getting on my nerves.
Well, listen, I know you are upset, and I know this is hard, and I know this has been a lot of stress. You're a young woman, and you've been keeping secrets, and this is what secrets do to us. They tear us apart. They eat away at us. And this is an opportunity for you to not just tell your side, but also for Mr. Bailey and Ms. Nelson.
Judge Lake unleashes the ultimate surprise witness. She has Mr. Davis's sister, Miss Collier, escorted into the courtroom. The collective "uh-oh" in the room is almost audible. This is a masterful move, forcing the hidden truth to confront the grieving family head-on. The stakes instantly skyrocket, and the emotional impact of this revelation is about to hit everyone in the courtroom like a ton of bricks.
And I'd like to have her be escorted in. Jerome? Ms. Collier, thank you so much for being here today. And please accept my sincerest condolences on the loss of your brother. I know that is very difficult. I have a few questions. Let's take a deep breath. Do you believe that your brother...
Ms. Collier drops another bombshell. She reveals her brother, Mr. Davis, believed Miss Laws' second son, Josiah, was also his child. He told his family he had another baby on the way. This new information shocks Miss Laws and fuels Mr. Bailey's doubts. The late Mr. Davis died thinking he had fathered 2 sons, a heartbreaking fact that adds profound tragedy to the case.
Well, hopefully it'll be Josiah, because when my brother passed away, he said he had another baby on the way. Jamari.
Oh.
So that would be Ms. Law's younger son, Josiah.
Yeah.
Am I correct?
And for Josiah and Jamari to look alike, they have this, yeah, you could tell they had the same dad.
And you believe they look like your brother?
Mm-hmm.
The arguing escalates. Mr. Bailey admits his distrust, saying if Ms. Laws was sneaky once, she could be again. His logic is that her past infidelity justifies his current suspicion about both children. This circular argument highlights the complete and total breakdown of trust between them. It's less about science and more about their eroded relationship's foundation, now on full display.
So you don't
stayed
trust
at home
her?
24/7. You know I was a homebody. You always got to be out doing something. So we don't know for sure if Jamari is yours or Corey's, because I made that one mistake with you. So we got that out the way. But what we don't get out the way is Josiah being your son, and he's definitely your son. And like I said, you're gonna see today. You're gonna see today.
So Ms. Laws, just to be clear, you told him.
The moment of truth arrives for baby Josiah. The results are in. After all the doubt and accusations, the court determines Mr. Bailey is the biological father. His reaction is a muted, okay, cool. This anticlimactic response to such a life-changing revelation speaks volumes about his emotional state, a mix of shock and a dawning realization of his confirmed responsibility.
Is the father of 19-month-old Josiah Laws. It has been determined by this court. The biological father is Mr. Bailey.
The final earth-shattering result is read. Mr. Bailey is also the biological father of 4-year-old Jamari. The gasps are real. Mr. Bailey is visibly blown away, and his mother, Ms. Nelson, is stunned. Ms. Collier is heartbroken for her late brother. This revelation rewrites the history of 2 children and forces everyone to completely redefine their family roles and relationships instantly.
Is the father of 4-year-old Jamari Laws. It has been determined by this court. The biological father is Mr. Bailey.
Oh.
Judge Lake immediately calls out Mr. Wallace's behavior, pointing out he is not a single man sowing his oats, but is, in fact, married with a family. He tries to weakly claim his marriage was an accident, which the judge instantly shuts down. You can't accidentally have a wife and 3 kids, sir. This sets the stage for a session full of shocking reveals and zero tolerance for his excuses.
Now, it would be different if you were just a young man sowing your oats.
I am.
And you had let all these women know that, listen, I'm a dating man, I'm single, but you're not single.
I am.
You're not.
The drama escalates when Ms. Reed exposes Mr. Wallace's lies, revealing he was texting her just weeks ago, professing his love. He flatly denies it, but the seed of doubt is planted. This moment perfectly captures the chaotic web of deception he's spun, leaving everyone wondering who, if anyone, he's been truthful with. The conflicting stories create a classic he said, she said showdown.
And so I hope you are not suggesting that your relationship with her is an accident because you have 3 children with her and a family as well. In addition, you have another child with Ms. Austin.
Judge Lake delivers a reality check to Ms. Reed, reminding her that technically she is still married to Mr. Wallace until those divorce papers are final. The judge emphasizes the 3 children counting on them to act maturely, a stark contrast to the circus unfolding in the courtroom. It's a sobering moment that cuts through the chaos and refocuses on the real victims, the kids.
Well, we're trying to get divorced. I want nothing to do with
I'll give you all this news flash. You're still married until you divorce. And you have 3 children who are counting on you to handle that maturely and respectfully.
Judge Lake turns to Ms. Austin, who believes she's the soon-to-be Mrs. Wallace. The judge logically points out the flaw in her plan. He's still married. Ms. Reed chimes in with a brutal, "He cheated, 'cause he boring and you can't cook." The catty comment adds humor, but the judge steers it back, genuinely wanting to understand Ms. Austin's mindset despite the overwhelming evidence against him.
cheated because he boring and you can't cook. So why was the same stupid thing I did?
Miss Reed, give Ms. Austin a chance. I really want to know from you. What are you thinking?
Ms. Austin explains she thought Mr. Wallace had changed because he stopped his old behaviors and even gave her his phone. Her belief shatters when Judge Lake reveals he recently texted Ms. Reed. Ms. Austin, stunned, "I didn't know that," is a powerful moment of realization. She was living in a carefully constructed fantasy, and the walls are suddenly crumbling down around her in real time.
You did? Why did you think that?
He stopped doing everything. He stopped cheating. He even gave me his phone.
But did you know that Miss Reed said he just texted her a couple weeks ago and said he wanted to be with her and Miss Roberts?
I didn't know.
In a bombshell reveal, Judge Lake shares the results of Mr. Wallace's lie detector test. Before questions even began, he voluntarily admitted to sleeping with 4 other women in the past 3 months, none of whom are the women in the case. The test confirmed he was telling the truth about this. The sheer number and his casual admission leave the entire courtroom and us stunned by his audacity.
In advance of taking the lie detector test, you admitted to having sex with 4 other women that were not involved in this case during the past 3 months.
Judge Lake asks Ms. Austin if she still wants to be with Mr. Wallace after hearing about the 4 other women. Her soft no is a huge turning point. The judge offers compassionate, empowering advice, telling her not to be ashamed. She notes that many women have trusted the wrong man, and even Ms. Reed claps in support. It's a moment of solidarity and growth amidst the mess.
It seems like it almost hit you by surprise, like you weren't expecting to hear that. Look at me. Don't be ashamed. Look, first of all, let's really keep it real. You're not the first woman nor the only woman in this room that has loved the wrong man for too long.
Mr. Wallace's facade completely crumbles. He defiantly states the women know what I am, but when confronted about his wife's alleged cheating, he spirals, shockingly saying if he could go back in time, he would cheat more. This raw, unrepentant outburst reveals the depth of his disrespect and anger, causing the courtroom to erupt and leading to his temporary expulsion for his disruptive behavior.
Listen, I'll tell you what you are.
A liar.
Thank you.
A cheater.
You
a
is too.
heartbreaker. No, don't say I am
on
nothing.
you because you cheat on me.
No, you didn't.
If
No,
I could go
is
back
that
to
the
hands
lie?
of time, I would have did more things when I was.
Is that the lies you said?
So what you're saying is, if you could go back in time.
After being removed, Mr. Wallace surprisingly returns to the courtroom. He offers a sincere apology to the judge, the court, and all 3 women. This is a stark contrast to his previous aggression. He explains he came for his kids, hinting at a deeper motivation for his return. This moment introduces a glimmer of hope for redemption, changing the entire tone of the proceeding.
You know you had to have a moment. Sometimes we have to have that in life, but I'm glad you're back.
I'd like to apologize to you and the court and the bailiff and to Miss Reed and Miss Austin, Miss Roberts. The thing is, where I'm from,
Go ahead, baby.
Mr. Wallace delivers a heartfelt confession, revealing he never had a father figure to show him how to treat women or be a man. He admits his toxic behavior is the only way I know from his upbringing. He concludes by simply stating, "I just need help." This vulnerable admission provides crucial context for his actions and shifts him from a pure villain to a flawed product of his environment.
I never had anybody to show me how to treat a woman or to be a man. I'm just here for my kids. Where I'm from, the way that I treat women, the only way I know. That's the only thing that's accepted from where I'm from.
Judge Lake offers profound praise, telling Mr. Wallace that walking back into the courtroom was the act of a man, not a boy. She acknowledges his tough exterior was an act to mask deep hurt from his fatherless childhood. By validating his struggle while commending his courage to return, she creates a transformative moment of grace and accountability, paving the way for real change.
The things and the issues you've been a victim of, your childhood, not having a father. And I want to say to you in front of everybody that you could have walked out that door and never come back.
The DNA results are in. Mr. Wallace is the father of Ms. Roberts' son. He expresses genuine relief and apologizes for the pain he's caused all 3 women over the past 2 years. This confirmation of paternity, coupled with his contrite apology, solidifies his responsibilities and marks a potential new beginning focused on his children, finally providing a clear path forward for this fractured family situation.
Roberts versus Wallace. When it comes to baby Danielle Wallace, Mr. Wallace, you are the father.
I gotta go.
The case is laid out. Tiffany Browning believes Charles Browning is her biological father, but he insists he's only the legal father because he was married to her mother at the time. He claims they were separated and not intimate, making it impossible. Tiffany, however, is not alone. She's brought her grandmother, who is also Charles's mother, to court for support. This family divide is about to get messy.
I'm here to prove that Charles is my biological father.
And you're here with your grandmother,
Yes, ma'am.
which happens to be Mr. Browning's mother.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Ms. Browning, you're here to support Tiffany, Ms. Browning.
Yes, I'm here to support.
Because you believe your son is her biological father.
I know.
Mr. Browning passionately defends his role, asking, "What does it matter, Your Honor?" He lists all the things he did. He raised her, went to school events, and her graduation. He reveals he was married to Rose, had 2 other girls with her, but insists they were separated for 6 months before Tiffany's conception, and he didn't touch her. He believes the real father was a drifter.
Your Honor, I'm the legal father of Tiffany, Your Honor, because at the time of Tiffany's conception with her mother, Your Honor, I was still married to the mother, but I'm not biologically the father. I believe the father is another man. I heard he was a drifter. Your Honor, what does it matter, Your Honor? What does it matter? I raised her, I took her to school, I went to the ball games with her.
The plot thickens as Grandma drops a bombshell. She directly contradicts her son, stating she knows he's the father because he and Rose lived in her house. She claims, "I saw them having sex, and not just once." She specifies locations, the attic and her living room with the door wide open. Charles repeatedly denies it, but his mother is providing a level of detail that is both shocking and incredibly specific.
He is the father of Tiffany because he and Rose lived in the house. And I saw them having sex.
That is not true.
So you knew they were intimate during that time?
Yes.
Not true, not true.
I saw them more than once.
Not true,
And
not
I
true.
saw them more than once.
Your Honor.
On the first floor in my living room.
We learn the moment Tiffany's world shattered. At just 12 years old, she overheard a family argument where she was called a one-night stand. She didn't even understand what that meant. The judge is rightfully horrified that a child was exposed to such a hurtful adult conversation. This reveals the deep, long-lasting emotional scar that this paternity mystery has left on her for over half her life.
When I was 12.
When you were 12?
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, it came up in a family argument. They were arguing, and I heard that he may not be a possibility. I heard I was a one-night stand. Yeah, I was upset after that. It wasn't, they said I was supposed to learn when I got of age.
But you were 12?
Yes.
The emotional core of the case shines through when the judge asks Grandma how her son's denial makes her feel. She simply says, "It makes me feel sad, and it's not for me, it's for her." This isn't about being right, it's about a grandmother's heartbreak for her granddaughter. Her loyalty is clearly with Tiffany, showing a powerful matriarchal love that transcends her own son's arguments.
She never accepted me.
I have never said that. I actually saw many times. They lived in my house 7 days a week.
How does your son's denial make you feel? You say you know. How does it make you feel to hear him deny Tiffany?
A new witness, Alexis, Tiffany's sister, takes the stand. She recalls being 8 years old when her mother told her that Tiffany's father was not their dad, but a man she was dating after their separation. She states her mom said that man didn't want to be a father. This testimony directly supports Mr. Browning's story and deals a devastating blow to Tiffany and her grandmother's belief.
That's your father?
Correct.
All right. So, Alexis, I want to understand from you. You have the same mother as Tiffany?
Correct, yes.
What did your mother tell you, or did she tell you anything about the paternity of your sister? Was there a different father? What did you know?
Your Honor, I remember calling, being about 8 years old, and my mom came to me and told me that my mom and my dad were getting a divorce.
In a poignant moment, Tiffany points to a photo, stating she sees a resemblance between herself and Mr. Browning. Even her sister Alexis, who just testified against the paternity, agrees. She admits, "They do favor, they really do, Your Honor." This moment of visual evidence introduces a powerful what if, clinging to the hope that biology might still confirm the father-daughter bond she's always felt in her heart.
I feel like we favor in that picture right there.
You and and Mr. Browning.
Yes.
And you say you see a resemblance.
Yeah.
I see a resemblance too
I
in
do
that
too.
photo. I will have to say I've never thought my sister and I look alike. I see myself in my dad. I can see.
Tiffany presents a medical chart as evidence she and Mr. Browning share asthma, type 1 diabetes, and a shellfish allergy. The odds of one person having all three of the same conditions as another are presented as highly unlikely without a biological link. This isn't just about looks anymore. It's about shared biology, creating a compelling scientific argument that throws his entire denial into question.
You submitted a chart to the court. Walk through this with me.
Yes.
You say you have asthma.
Yes.
And Mr. Browning, the man you believe is your father, has asthma as well.
He had asthma.
You say you have type 1 diabetes.
Yes, he has diabetes.
Is that true, Mr. Brown?
Yes, Your Honor.
A medical expert, Dr. Brown Parks, is brought in to analyze the medical evidence. She confirms that each condition, asthma, diabetes, and a shellfish allergy, has a significantly increased likelihood of being passed from a parent to a child. She concludes that having all three matching conditions increases the likelihood of Mr. Browning being the father. The science seems to be leaning heavily in Tiffany's favor.
Asthma is a constrictive airway disease, and when we're talking about the father with asthma, the chances of having a child diagnosed with asthma also in a father who has it is 2.5 to 3 times depending on the age of diagnosis.
Interesting. So now, what about diabetes?
In a heartbreaking moment, Tiffany confesses what she truly wants from these results. Fighting back tears, she says, "I want him to be my dad." She reveals she's had his name for years, and the thought of it not being true is crushing. This raw admission isn't about winning a case. It's about a daughter's lifelong desire for her father's biological acknowledgement.
A little emotional.
And why do you feel emotional, honey?
Because it may not turn out what I wanted it to be.
What do you want it?
I want him to be my dad. I don't know. I've had his name for years, and I just hate for it to just hate to live with that. But I just gotta live with it and move on.
Seeing Tiffany's emotion visibly affects Mr. Browning. He admits, "I hate to see her in that state." The judge then extracts a crucial affirmation from him, asking if, regardless of biology, he loves her like a daughter. His "Yes, Your Honor" is a powerful moment. It confirms that their bond, built over a lifetime, is real and exists separate from the DNA results they are about to hear.
Yes, Your Honor, I hate to see her in that state, but it's for her best.
I understand. Regardless of the biology and the paternity, you have been there for Tiffany and you love her like a daughter.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you hear that, Tiffany?
Yes.
I'm ready to go to the results.
The moment of truth arrives. The results are in. Mr. Browning, you are not the father. The outcome is not what Tiffany hoped for. The courtroom reacts with immediate comfort as Grandma and her sister rush to her side, assuring her, "He loves you." It's a devastating conclusion for Tiffany, but the family's swift embrace shows that their love for her is not dependent on a DNA test.
In the case of Browning versus Browning, when it comes to 25-year-old Tiffany Browning, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Browning, you are not the father.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
Nothing's changed, Tiffany.
You gonna be okay?
Mr. Hodges lays out his case, accusing Ms. Willard of being a liar and a cheater. He claims he caught her with multiple guys, including one she had hidden in the room. The foundation of their relationship was shaky from the start. He met her right after she had a one-night stand with another man, and he was there to comfort her. The trust issues were immediate and deep.
I had one hidden in the room, and whenever we first got together, she said that she would never hurt me or cheat on me. She would be truthful, and yet she's lied to me left and right.
Miss Willard, you kept lying and you kept cheating?
No, I did not. I had a guy over at my house, yes. He was visiting because he was a childhood friend, and I didn't tell him because I knew he'd flip out because I know how he is.
The drama intensifies as we learn about the hidden in the house incident. Mr. Hodges confirms he found another man hiding in her mother's bedroom. Ms. Willard's mother, Ms. Champion, defends the action, saying they hid him because she didn't want to hurt him and because Hardy's got a temper. This justification for hiding a man in a closet from your fiancé is certainly a choice, and not a great one.
I was there to comfort her, and we talked for a week or so. And
Oh, you met her after she had a one-night stand with another guy, and then she cried on your shoulder, and then you and she got together.
yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Blevins, I understand that you are the one who pushed your son to open this case.
Yes, Your Honor.
And why did you do that?
Hold the phone. The plot thickens exponentially. Mr. Hodges' mother, Ms. Blevins, drops the ultimate bombshell. Your Honor, she was already married when they got engaged. Judge Lake, with perfect timing, clarifies, so you were engaged to Mr. Hodges, but you were married to another guy at the time? Ms. Willard simply replies, yes, Your Honor. Ma'am, you have a whole entire husband. The layers of deception are astounding.
I was engaged.
Yeah, we were engaged.
So you were engaged, Ms. Willard?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
So now that makes more sense. When your fiance came in the house, then you hid this other guy in the...
Because I didn't want to fight to start.
And Your Honor, she was already married when they got engaged that my son didn't know about.
So you were engaged to Mr. Hodges, but you were married to another guy at the time?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Blevins, the mother of the accused, shares her first impression of Ms. Willard, and it's a doozy. She thought she was sneaky, noting she always kept her phone on her and would hide it when Mr. Hodges came near. She even claims to have messages from another man Ms. Willard was seeing concurrently. This mama had her son's back from the jump, spotting the red flags from a mile away.
Never let him get a hold of it, and when she was on it and he would come around, she would hide it. I've had messages from a guy that she was seeing while she was seeing my son.
How did you find him?
It's the guy that was with her when Lillian was born at the hospital.
Do you have those messages?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me have those. Jerome, can you please bring me those messages? Thank you.
The text message evidence is presented, and it's damning. Ms. Blevins read aloud a conversation with the other man, who stated, so she cheated on both of us. Ms. Blevins replied, looks that way. This directly contradicts Ms. Willard's denial of dating both men at the same time. The paper trail doesn't lie, and it paints a picture of a very tangled, very messy web of relationships.
Your Honor.
So why is this man saying this? He's giving all these specific details to Ms. Blevins.
He was at the hospital when Lillian was born.
Yes, I was with him at that time.
Your Honor, he's saying that. He's saying that because he wants my daughter. I've been through it with this person. When, I think it's in February, right after Christmas sometime, when she didn't even know she was pregnant at that time. She left my house.
Judge Lake recaps the stunning list of deceptions, and it's a long one. She hid that she had a husband, she hid that she had had a child, and she also hid a man in her mother's house. With each point, Mr. Hodges confirms, yes, Your Honor. It's a breathtaking resume of dishonesty that makes you wonder how he kept up with all the storylines. It's truly a masterclass in chaos.
Found out Miss Willard was pregnant.
She called me and she said that she was 8 months pregnant, and
8 months?
yes, later on down the road, I'm sitting there texting her every day, asking about the baby, seeing if the doctor's appointments are going well and everything. Come find out whenever we called her OBG to see when her next appointment was, they said it was her checkup for the baby.
Checkup?
Yes, ma'am.
The lies get even more specific and bizarre. Text messages show that on May 27th, Ms. Willard was texting Mr. Hodges about her pregnancy, saying the baby's lungs weren't fully developed, and the due date was in July. The catch? The baby, Lillian, was born on May 23rd. She was texting him about a pregnancy that had already ended, creating a fictional timeline that was completely unhinged.
Was born on what day?
May the 23rd.
Ms. Willard, this is too much lying.
I know.
This is just too much lying. Now, I heard about 5 lies already. What is going on? Why are you texting him like the baby isn't born when the baby is born?
When confronted with the lie about the baby being born, Ms. Willard offers a new explanation. He's married now, and I just didn't want to break up a marriage. Judge Lake immediately pokes a hole in this, pointing out she had already told him she was pregnant, so the cat was already out of the bag. The excuses are piling up faster than she can invent them, and none of them are holding water.
He had a kid by another person. That's it.
But you told him, I'm pregnant 8 months. I didn't find out till I was 6 months. You told him anyway. So what is this about breaking up a marriage? You'd already told him you were pregnant.
Because I was with the other guy and I had been living with him for a while and I thought I was gonna keep living with him, but we broke up.
In a stunning confession, Ms. Willard admits the other man asked for a DNA test because he thought he could be the father. She claims they then found out he was the dad just by looking at the baby, so they called off the test. Judge Lake is rightly flabbergasted, pointing out that's why they are in court. You can't find out paternity through vibes and a strong resemblance.
Did you tell the other guy, could he possibly be the biological father, and you said no?
I never told him that. He wanted a DNA test, so I was gonna give him one. And then we found out he was the dad, and he was like, well, don't worry about it, because now I know.
How'd you find out he was the dad?
Because
We're here in this courtroom to find
Because
out.
the way that she looks
just like him.
The pressure mounts, and Ms. Willard begins to break down, saying she feels like she's being jumped on and that everyone's against me. Judge Lake gently but firmly asks if she feels responsible, and she admits yes, and I take credit for that. It's a rare moment of accountability in a sea of deflection, showing a glimpse of the person buried beneath all the prevarication and chaos.
Do you also feel like you know you're responsible for a lot of what's happening here?
Yes, and I take credit for that.
Do you have a reason or an understanding as to why you do tell all of the lies you tell?
You may be honest with you, he's married, and I just wanted a family.
Finally, a moment of raw honesty. Judge Lake asks why she tells so many lies. Ms. Willard's voice cracks as she gives the real answer. To be honest with you, I just wanted a family. Her mother confirms she's never seen her daughter so committed to a man. This reveals the tragic core of the case, a desperate, flawed attempt to create stability, which ironically created nothing but turmoil.
It's okay. You can take your time, because I knew something was on your heart, because you're out there just spinning.
I've never seen her in all her time for dating guys. I have never seen her take a guy with her everywhere she goes.
But what I think your daughter is saying, and this is and you are giving me great insight, Miss Champy, into what's happening.
In a surprising twist, Mr. Hodges reveals his own conflicted feelings. Despite the lies and the fact that he is now married to someone else, he admits, I want the baby to be mine. I do. He explains he's gotten attached to baby Lillian. It's a complicated emotional reveal, showing that beneath the anger, a bond has formed, and he genuinely hopes the DNA results will confirm it.
I want the baby to be mine.
You do?
Yes, Your Honor.
You sincerely want this baby to be yours? Even though you're married to someone else right now, you still really want this baby to be yours?
Yes, Your Honor. Being there with her, just get attached. I'm used to her being there.
Well, I believe I've taken enough testimony.
The results are in. Judge Lake announces, Mr. Hodges, you are the father. After all the lies, the hidden men, and the secret marriage, the one thing Ms. Willard was telling the truth about was the paternity. It's the outcome both parties secretly wanted, offering a chance for this messy situation to finally have a foundation of truth to build upon for baby Lillian's sake.
In the case of Hodges versus Willard, when it comes to 1-month-old Lillian Willard, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Hodges, you are the father.
Lorraine Bolyjack opens up about the 30-year emotional toll of not knowing her father. She describes a childhood filled with anger, hurt, resentment, watching other kids with their dads. The pain extended into adulthood, as her own children now ask who their grandfather is, and she has no clear answer to give them. This lifelong mystery has cast a shadow over multiple generations of her family.
The past 30 years, I've had a number of emotions: anger, hurt, resentment, not knowing who my father was, growing up with other kids with their fathers and me not having a father. And even into adulthood, my children question who their grandfather is, and I can't give a clear answer.
Ms. Common, the mother, states she is absolutely sure Mr. Smith is the father. She claims she told him when Lorraine was 1 year old, giving him her address and phone number, but he never followed up. She says he contacted Lorraine only once and then vanished. This sets up the central conflict: a mother's certainty versus an alleged father's denial, and a lifetime of absence that created deep-seated doubt.
Well, the only reason that she's not certain that Robert is her father is because he'd never been around. I mean, like I told him when she was 1 year old that he was the father, and I gave him her address and phone number and told him how he can get in contact with her.
Mr. Smith lays out his defense for why he can't be the father. He states, "She don't favor none of my kids." Then he makes a more pointed accusation, claiming, "The mama, she was out there living the life." This immediately triggers a fiery response from Ms. Common, setting the stage for a dramatic back and forth about their past and her character.
He never did. He got in contact with her once and then that was it. He didn't get in contact with her no more.
And so, Mr. Smith, Ms. Common has said you've had the information. You don't believe you're Ms. Boley-Jack's biological father?
No, ma'am, I don't believe so. She don't favor none of my kids, you know what I mean? So, and then the mama, she was out there.
Ms. Common passionately refutes Mr. Smith's claim, launching into a now iconic monologue. "It was summer love, baby. It was just me and you." She flips the script, accusing him of being the one who was horning around, stating that's the real reason she left him. This summer love defense becomes the poetic, if chaotic, cornerstone of her entire argument for his paternity.
Just me and you, we was together. It was summer love, baby. It was me and you. It wasn't no, I was out there. And you know the reason I left you. I left you because you were the one out there hoeing around.
So what was the nature of the relationship? Tell me. Well, you said it was summer love, Ms. Common.
Yeah, but girl, women kept coming up to me telling me that Rob was their man and wanted to fight me over Robert and stuff like that, so I left him.
In a massive plot twist, Ms. Common's story shifts. She admits there is a possibility someone else is the father. She reveals that during the summer love with Mr. Smith, she was also going back to my ex. She explains she initially told the older, more responsible ex he was the father because she needed support. This confession completely undermines her decades of certainty.
That he was the father because he was much older and he was much responsible for taking care of her. But there's a possibility that he's the father too.
Oh, so you're saying right now that there is a possibility that someone else is your daughter's biological father?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because at the time when it was summer love with Mr. Smith,
I was still going back to my ex.
After you got done with him because he was acting up.
Right.
When the summer love turned cold.
The conversation gets uncomfortably specific as Mr. Smith reveals the brevity of their fling, stating they only had sex about 3 times. Lorraine, visibly distressed, interjects, "I'm sorry, I just don't want to hear all that." It's a raw moment where the clinical details of her potential conception clash with the profound emotional weight of her 30-year search for identity.
Only a few times. Nah.
Well, how many times did we have sex?
About 3 times.
I'm sorry.
About 3 times. That was it.
I just don't want to hear all that. Can we get back to
That was it. You know, she disappeared.
But it only takes once. You know that.
I understand.
And if you didn't use protection, that's how you make babies.
And we didn't use protection. Neither time. All the times we made love.
Judge Lake presses Mr. Smith on his actions after he was told about the baby. He admitted he was excited when first informed, yet he confesses, "I didn't do anything to pursue a relationship." This contradiction highlights the core of the issue. A fleeting moment of potential responsibility was utterly eclipsed by a lifetime of avoidance and inaction, leaving a child in limbo.
I didn't, Your Honor.
Even though you acted happy about it?
Yes.
So why didn't you ever show up?
Because he was too busy out there hoeing around, having partying and hoeing around.
I was doing my thing. I ain't gonna lie. I was doing my thing.
And so, Ms. Boley,
man,
I know you was.
Ms. Boley-Jack, when you hear this conversation, the fact that this man who your mom says is your biological father was excited to hear about you, but never ever came to see you.
Lorraine recounts the most crushing betrayal of her childhood. At age 12, Mr. Smith finally called, told her he was her father, and gave her a phone number. 2 days later, she tried to call him, only to find the number was already disconnected. The hope he briefly gave her was snatched away instantly, a deeply cruel act that solidified her feelings of being unwanted.
Everything that's going on today is just like, it's so many inconsistent stories from both parties.
And so, Ms. Boley-Jack, I want you to look at Mr. Smith and I want you to tell him what it felt like waiting 12 years to get a call and then after that, calling 2 days later and that number being disconnected.
It was a horrible feeling.
When asked how Mr. Smith's abandonment made her feel, Lorraine doesn't hold back. She describes feeling hurt, angry, disgusted. Hearing this, Mr. Smith is visibly moved, saying, "It really hurts me." But when asked why he disappeared, he offers a weak excuse about the life I was living and not being ready to step up to the plate, a justification that rings hollow after 30 years.
Mr. Smith, when you hear Ms. Bolijak, when you hear Lorraine describe what it felt like as a child, how does it make you feel to hear that?
It really hurts me. It really hurts me, you know?
Why did you disappear? Why? You had opportunity. She came to find you, to tell you. At 1, that would have been before Lorraine could remember all of this.
The paternity mystery reaches its peak complexity. Ms. Common drops the bombshell that she had sex with both Mr. Smith and her ex-boyfriend on the same day. She didn't discover the pregnancy until a month later. This stunning admission reveals the true, unsolvable biological puzzle that has fueled this 3-decade-long saga and explains the genuine scientific basis for the doubt.
Was the time you went back with your ex anywhere near the window of conception?
Okay, so like when I left Robert and I went back to my ex, I had sex with him the same day I went back with him. And I didn't find out I was pregnant until a month later after that. But I had sex with both of them on the same day.
The judge introduces a calendar submitted by Ms. Common, which places the window of conception in July, a time she was with both men. With Lorraine's birth date being April 21st, the timeline indeed points to 2 potential fathers. The judge concludes, this is what a paternity issue is made of, finally providing a clear, logical reason for the decades of confusion and conflicting stories.
Different men in the same day. Eventually, you really started to observe the calendar.
Yes.
To figure out, okay, let's look at this window of conception.
Yes.
So this is the calendar you submitted to the court. You said July is when you believe you conceived, right?
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
And that's when you were with Mr. Smith, but you also admit you were sexually active with your ex.
Yes.
The results are in. After 30 years of uncertainty, the truth is revealed. Mr. Smith, you are not the father. The outcome is not what anyone hoped for. The judge offers a heartfelt apology to Lorraine, who sought closure, but instead is left with a definitive end to one possibility, forcing her to look toward the other man for the answers she still desperately needs.
In the case of Common versus Smith, when it comes to 29-year-old Lorraine Bolijak, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Smith, you are not the father.
Ms. Gregory pleads her case, stating it's very important to save her family. She reveals they got engaged in May, but Mr. Elston broke it off just 2 weeks ago over paternity doubts. She feels both her son Carson and her unborn child deserve their father. Her entire goal is to get this cleared up and reunite their family, placing all her hopes on the DNA results.
It's very important for me to save my family because I feel that my kids, both of them, my unborn child and Carson, deserves their father. And I feel that we got engaged in May. He broke up with me 2 weeks ago because of paternity issues. So I feel that we need to get this all cleared up.
Mr. Elston explains why he called off the engagement. He says while working out of town, multiple people called and texted him, telling him she was cheating. He even admits to sending people to check on her. This paranoia was fueled by rumors and sightings, creating a foundation of distrust that ultimately made him question everything about their relationship and the paternity of her child.
It was, people calling me and texting me, telling me that, she's cheating or either somebody's in the driveway. I work out of town and I'm like, I do stuff like I send people over there to check on her just to make sure she's not doing nothing. And, multiple people told me that they caught her ex in the driveway, caught his car there.
Your Honor.
The star witness arrives. Mr. Elston's sister reveals she is the one who caught Ms. Gregory. She states her hard-working brother asked her to check on Carly and Carson. When she rode by the house, she saw her ex's truck was there. She immediately called her brother with the news. This first-hand account from a family member makes the accusation much more credible and damaging to Ms. Gregory's defense.
He works to take care of Carson, Carly, and the unborn child. And he called me, he told me to go to the house and check on Carly and Carly. And I did. When I rode by there, her ex's truck was there. So I called my brother and I told him.
Was your ex's truck there, Miss Gregory?
No, Your Honor, my ex lives like 4 states away.
So whose truck was it?
The origin story of this relationship is a mess. Ms. Gregory admits she met Mr. Elston through her ex at a basketball game. She was dating her ex, and he had a girlfriend. They started sleeping together 2 weeks after we met, and she got pregnant almost a month later. So this entire family saga began as a full-blown affair.
Me and Mr. Elston met through my ex at a basketball game. I was dating.
Through your ex?
I was dating my ex, and he was cheating on me at the time, so I felt comfort in Mr. Elston. He had a girlfriend also. We started sleeping together 2 weeks after we met, and then I got pregnant like almost a month later.
Setting the stage for a lifetime of trust issues. The hospital story is wild. Ms. Gregory says, after having no contact during her pregnancy, Mr. Elston showed up on the second day and begged for me to give Carson his last name. She refused, telling him he could sign the birth certificate but not give the baby his name. This power struggle at the most vulnerable moment highlights the deep lack of trust from the very beginning.
We text like 2 weeks after that, and that's about it.
And so when you had Carson, was Mr. Elston at the hospital?
He came to the hospital the second day. I had to have an emergency C-section, so I was in the hospital for 5 days. He came the second and begged for me to give Carson his last name when we was not talking the whole pregnancy. I told him, you can sign the birth certificate, but you cannot give my son your last name right now.
Mr. Elston tells his version of the hospital visit. He says he walked in happy, held the baby, and then his mood shattered. His exact words, confirmed by Ms. Gregory, were, "He's too white." He stated the baby didn't have his nose, my ears, my eyes, and he simply gave the baby back and walked out. His immediate physical denial of the child was a crushing moment.
We sit down, take a picture, and I looked at him
Your
real
exact
closely,
words was, he's too white.
and Your
That's
Honor,
exactly what he said.
the baby didn't look like me. He don't have my nose, my ears, my eyes, or nothing. And I just got up and gave her the baby and I walked out.
Your Honor.
Really?
My brother, Your Honor, my brother has 2 other children, and
that he does not take care of.
From the beginning,
I take
when
care of
both
my
of his
children,
baby
Your Honor.
mothers had the baby, from the beginning, they both came out looking just like my brother.
The sister brings up social media evidence, claiming Ms. Gregory posted things on Facebook that created doubt. She specifically mentions a picture with another dude around the time she was supposed to be pregnant by Mr. Elston. This shows the couple's real-life drama was being fueled and documented online, using social media posts as evidence in their personal courtroom saga.
Your Honor, if she didn't post things on Facebook that made my brother feel otherwise, it wouldn't be any doubt.
Things like what?
She's actually posted a picture with another dude around the time she was supposed to be pregnant by my brother.
And Your Honor,
actually have the
you
picture.
submitted that photo to the court?
Yes.
Oh, so this is the picture.
Who is that, Carly?
That's my ex.
That's your ex?
I got pregnant in March. That photo was taken in April. We were still together, but we broke up. Me and him had no sexual relationships in March.
The evidence gets more concrete. Mr. Elston presents a text exchange from a friend who was at the house. The friend texted, "Have you talked to Carly today?" and then revealed she's in there, laid up with another guy. When Mr. Elston asked if they were hugged up, the friend confirmed yes. This testimony from an inside source severely undermines Ms. Gregory's claims of fidelity.
And she was like, well, she's in there laid up with another guy, and I'm in the living room.
You submitted that text exchange to the court.
Yes, ma'am.
The friend says, have you talked to Carly today? You say no, why? The friend says she has some guy over here with her in the living room. You text back, are they hugged up or anything? And she texts back, yes. Was this the ex that she saw you hugged up with?
Yes, Your Honor.
Judge Lake catches Ms. Gregory in a major lie. She claims she had no sex with her ex in March, the crucial conception month. The judge points out she posted a photo with him that month, captioned, "I love you," with a heart. Noting her fidgeting fingers, the judge calls out the obvious lie, highlighting the incredible inconsistency between her social media affection and her sworn testimony.
Are you saying that you had no sex with your boyfriend in the entire month of March?
Correct, Your Honor. I did not have any sex with him.
So all of a sudden after February, you just weren't sleeping with him anymore, but you just happened to go out to dinner with him and his whole family and put a post up about it and say, "I love you" with a heart.
Yes, Your Honor.
And I'm sure
Do you realize every time you lie, then your fingers go like this?
In the most shocking reveal, Ms. Gregory admits she had sex with her friend's boyfriend. When pressed for details, she reveals it was on Valentine's Day and that it was a threesome, adding she knew about it. This admission of a threesome with a friend's partner introduces a whole new potential father into the mix, making the paternity mystery infinitely more complicated.
My friend's boyfriend.
Your Honor, actually, it was on more than one occasion. One of the times they had a threesome.
How did you have sex with your friend's boyfriend?
It was on Valentine's Day. We had a threesome. She knew about it.
So you had a threesome on Valentine's Day. I don't know what to even put, just a 3, Jerome?
I'd say a 3 and circle it.
Despite the chaos, a touching moment emerges. Judge Lake notes Carson is almost 2 and likely saying "dada." Ms. Gregory confirms he already says it to Mr. Elston, calling him a very good father and stating they love each other very much. This shows a genuine, loving bond has formed, regardless of biology, complicating the emotional outcome of the DNA results.
Actually active with your ex.
Yes, Your Honor.
So let's just move on. Carson's almost 2 years old. And this court cares about the fact that in the very near future, he is either going to say the words "dada" or he's already saying.
He's already saying it to Mr. Elston. He's a very good father to Carson. They love each other.
Mr. Elston shows his emotional conflict. He admits, "I do feel like Carson is his son when he's with him. He has built a real bond, but just wants the truth." He concludes, "It's hurt me that I gotta go through this today," revealing that despite his doubts, this process is painful because he has come to love this little boy.
And do you feel like when you're with him, do you feel like that's your son?
I do. And I just want the truth today to determine whether he's really mine or not.
Well, she's pregnant now, and she says there's also a paternity question related to this baby.
Yes.
So it's not as if this is ending today.
Yeah.
The results are in, and they are definitive. Mr. Elston, you are not the father. This is the outcome he feared but suspected. He reacts with resigned disappointment, stating, "I put myself in a situation where I thought I could trust her. I deserve better." Yet, he shockingly adds, "I'm not going to give up on him," suggesting he may maintain their bond despite the biological truth.
This court, Mr. Elston, you are not the father. I'm sorry, Mr. Elston, you are not Carson's biological father.
Yeah, and I put myself in a situation where I thought I could trust her and, I deserve better. And I'm not gonna give up on him if that's what she thinks, so.
Ms. Davis steps into paternity court with one mission: to prove Adrian Cole is the father of her daughter, Autumn. She tells Judge Lake that Adrian once accepted his role proudly, until rumors and whispers made him walk out. Meanwhile, Adrian says he still supports Autumn, but doubts have been eating at him ever since people started telling him she's not his. The tension is immediate.
Ms. Davis, you say that after accepting your daughter, Autumn, Mr. Cole abruptly ended your relationship, moved out of your home, and is now denying her. You say Mr. Cole is the only man who could be Autumn's father, and you intend to prove paternity today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Davis, visibly emotional, tells the judge she's hurt and disappointed. She insists she was only intimate with Adrian during the conception window, but Adrian fires back. He's been hearing way too much street talk to ignore. "I came here for the truth and to move on." Judge Lake nods, already sensing that behind the love, there's a lot of deception waiting to unfold.
How does it feel knowing Mr. Cole is denying your daughter?
I feel hurt, angry, disappointed how he all of a sudden not claiming my daughter. He is the only man that I've been with since February.
So, Mr. Cole, you're not claiming the baby? You don't think it's yours?
Yes, I claim the baby. I still take care of the baby. And
you do?
Yes. Anything she asks for, I do for the baby.
But you deny that you are her biological father.
They revisit how this all began: a homecoming basketball game, a quick exchange of numbers, and the start of a casual relationship. By March 21st, Ms. Davis learned she was 4 weeks pregnant. She even comes with a bright yellow conception calendar as evidence, highlighting every moment she was with Adrian. She looks confident. Adrian looks skeptical. Judge Lake's eyes narrow. Here comes the timeline debate.
So you have sincere doubt.
Yes, ma'am.
So, Ms. Davis, tell me about the nature of your relationship before you got pregnant.
Yes, I had met Mr. Cole at a basketball game, a homecoming game, and we had Google eyes with each other. We had changed numbers, and we had chill a couple times.
So you continued this relationship, and at some point you find out you're pregnant?
Ms. Davis claims Adrian was the only man she was with in February and March. Her ex, she says, was only a one-time thing in early January, too far back to matter. But Adrian recalls that right after she told him about the pregnancy, people were already claiming otherwise. A guy even messaged Ms. Davis angrily, suggesting he could be the father. The court erupts in whispers.
Started having sex with him here, and then on the 21st, find out you're 4 weeks pregnant. And he was the only man you were with during that time?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Cole, when Ms. Davis told you she was pregnant, did you question paternity then?
Not when she told me through the text.
Judge Lake does the math out loud. January doesn't add up, but the rumors are relentless, and Adrian's frustration is real. He admits he wanted a DNA test from day one, but couldn't get one since he'd already signed the birth certificate. You can feel the exasperation building. This isn't just about science anymore. It's about trust, pride, and betrayal.
In February and in March?
Yes, he was the only person I was intimate in February and March. My ex-boyfriend, I had stopped intimate with him in January. It was the beginning of January.
All right, so right around here, that's when you were having sex with, for how long?
It was just a one time in January.
So that could not be the biological father.
Correct.
Because that's too far from the 4-week conception date.
Then comes the hospital bombshell. Adrian was present through the whole delivery, but when he asked for a DNA test, Ms. Davis snapped. Later that night, he fell asleep, and she let him sleep right through the birth certificate signing. She confesses she saw him texting friends about wanting a test and decided not to wake him. Judge Lake nearly loses composure. You mean to tell me you let him miss that moment out of spite?
You couldn't get the DNA test?
They wouldn't let me because I had signed the birth certificate.
Okay, so that's what I want to get to. So, Ms. Davis, once you tell Mr. Cole you're pregnant, initially he accepts.
Yes.
So you all are going through the process of having a baby?
Yes, Your Honor.
And he's present?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now you have the baby at the hospital.
Adrian looks devastated, saying if she truly believed he was the father, she would have woken him. Eventually, after his family pressured him, saying Autumn looks just like him, he went back and signed the certificate. He became the legal father. But the peace didn't last long. Ms. Davis posted a side-by-side collage online, comparing Autumn's face to Adrian's, and another man's. Judge Lake freezes mid-blink. You made a paternity poll?
So after I had Autumn, a couple hours later, he was asleep, and I went through his phone. And then all his friends was telling him, congratulations on your baby girl on Autumn Cole, and I seen him put, no, her name is Autumn Davis until we get a DNA test. And I got in my feelings and got mad. And I took it upon myself to didn't wake him up, and I didn't let him sign the birth certificate.
Ms. Davis claims she only did it out of emotion, insisting everyone agreed Autumn resembled Adrian anyway, but it's too late. The damage is public. Adrian looks embarrassed, and Judge Lake tells her flatly, you don't crowdsource paternity. The courtroom laughs nervously. You could feel the awkwardness through the TV screen. Adrian just shakes his head. He's officially over the nonsense.
And Mr. Cole, at some point, your name got on it.
Yeah, like 2 months after she was born. Because my family had got in my head and she looks just like you, that's your twin.
And you accepted Autumn as yours, or you still had doubts?
I accepted her as mine.
You did?
Yes.
Because your family had convinced you?
Yes, ma'am, but then like 2 years, she was about 2.
Enter Ms. Davis's twin sister, Ashley, the unexpected truth teller. She praises Adrian for being a great father, steady, involved, consistent. But then she drops the shocker. Amber once told her she had sex with another man 2 days before Adrian. 2 days. The audience collectively gasps, and even Jerome looks stunned. Ms. Davis's jaw tightens. She's not ready for that level of exposure.
Well, what are you taking a poll for as it relates to paternity? I mean, where would you get in your mind that you're going to split screen your daughter's face with 2 different guys, send it out to take a poll?
That's what I said.
I was just mad and angry.
Who were you mad at?
I was mad at him because he was going around also and was telling people, oh, I have doubts that Autumn was mine, because people also was come to me and tell me that that Adrian's not.
I was going around trying to get a DNA test.
Ms. Davis denies everything, claiming her twin misunderstood. She repeats that But it only happened once in early January, not 2 days before. Judge Lake, never one to let inconsistencies slide, breaks it down like an attorney. Those are two very different time frames. Ashley stands firm. Adrian's glare could cut glass, and the courtroom's silence speaks volumes. Drama at its finest, folks.
What I want to understand is, why in the world then, when you decide you're gonna create an email blasted poll about the paternity of your daughter, would you add this other guy's face on it if there's absolutely no other possibility?
Judge Lake tries to redirect focus to what really matters. Little Autumn, she's 3 years old, calls Adrian daddy, and knows no other man in that role. Adrian tears up, explaining he wants to be her real father. He never had a dad himself and doesn't want her to grow up wondering. Heartbreaking stuff. Judge Lake takes a long pause, clearly moved.
Can you please bring the witness into the courtroom? Sure. Miss Ashley Davis, Ms. Davis's sister, is here to testify today. Hello, Ms. Davis. Thank you for joining us. You are Ms. Davis, Amber's twin sister. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And you're here to testify as to what you know about the relationship between Ms. Davis, your sister, and Mr. Cole.
Yes.
Then the legal truth hits. By signing the birth certificate, Adrian is Autumn's legal father, no matter what the DNA test says. Financially, he's responsible. Emotionally, he's already attached. Ms. Davis stares down, realizing what that means. Judge Lake questions why she kept feeding public drama if she was certain all along. Because I was mad, she says softly. I just wanted him to believe me.
That was just that one time, and Your Honor, and she been having sex with Adrian ever since February and in March, and he's just been there, so I'm 100% sure that Adrian's the father.
So wait, you're saying that your sister admitted to you that she had sex with another guy 2 days before she was intimate with Mr. Cole?
Yes. No.
And you're certain she said 2 days?
Yes.
No, I did not tell her 2 days. I had sex with the other guy in the beginning of January.
Adrian admits he still loves Autumn deeply, but wants the truth. I need to know, he says, voice cracking. If she's mine, I'm all in. Ms. Davis nods, tearfully saying she wants the same closure. Even Jerome looks misty-eyed at this point. Judge Lake grabs the envelope from her bailiff. This is the calm before the emotional storm. The room goes silent.
She's called into court today to tell the truth.
But I didn't tell her that.
I remember her saying 2 days before she had sex with Adrian.
So if that's the case, the 2 days before you started having sex with Mr. Cole would have been around February the 11th, and that would be the other guy. Why would a question concerning paternity or a conversation concerning paternity even be relevant or of issue where you would be having this conversation with your twin sister?
Judge Lake recaps the evidence: February intimacy, March pregnancy, April rumors, June signing, and now 3 years of doubt. She reminds them that one document created a family and one test could destroy it. Adrian's leg bounces under the podium. Ms. Davis takes a deep breath, whispering, "Please, God." The envelope rustles like thunder. Every second feels like forever.
Yes, Your Honor.
And I sit in this chair because I try to be a voice for the voiceless, for the children that can't speak for themselves. They can't. She basically knows Mr. Cole to be her father. Autumn does, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
This is the man she knows. She doesn't know anybody else.
Yes, Your Honor.
She calls him daddy.
Yes, Your Honor.
But to this day, Mr. Cole, you don't know if you are her biological father.
No, ma'am.
The judge looks down at the paper, eyes steady, expression unreadable. Adrian grips the railing with both hands. Ms. Davis's tears fall silently. The tension is unbearable. Even Autumn's name feels heavy in the air. These results will determine the future of this family, Judge Lake says. Then, with the slowest, most deliberate motion, she opens the envelope.
You had sex with somebody else 2 days before. I don't know why your sister, your twin sister, would get up in this courtroom and just make up a fabrication.
I don't know why she'd do that either.
That's what you told me.
I did not tell you that.
And Mr. Cole, let me be clear. Are you hoping you are Autumn's biological father?
Everyone leans in, waiting to exhale. Adrian wipes his face. Ms. Davis clasps her hands, whispering a prayer. Jerome lowers his head in respect. The judge clears her throat, about to reveal what 3 years of chaos, pain, and hope have all led up to. The courtroom holds its collective breath.
In the case of Davis versus Cole, when it comes to 3-year-old Autumn Cole, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Cole, you are not the father.
Rash walks into paternity court looking like a man who's been through emotional demolition. Judge Lauren lays out the drama. He says his wife, Ms. Fuentes, cheated repeatedly, left him, slept with multiple brothers from the same family, and branded another man's name on her body. Yet he still stayed and raised 2 little girls he's now doubting. Talk about messy stakes from second one.
Good day, everyone. Mr. Rash, you are here today seeking the results of paternity tests for your 2 children. You claim your wife, Ms. Fuentes, has cheated on you repeatedly. You say she once left you for another man, slept with 5 brothers from the same family.
Ms. Fuentes doesn't flinch. She admits cheating, blames a rough foster care past, and claims Rash knew who she was from the jump. Then she hits him with, "You were never really my type." While standing next to him on national TV, you can see Rash's spirit flicker. The whole courtroom collectively goes, "Oof." Judge Lauren's eyebrows are already working overtime.
You admit that all of her cheating has left you filled with the doubt that you are indeed your children's biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Ms. Fuentes, you don't deny you've cheated over the years, but you claim your husband was never really your type.
Rash explains he caught her via text messages and Craigslist-style hookups, full-blown receipts territory. She tries to argue they weren't technically together at certain times. He insists they were. It's less, "We were on a break," and more, "You just rewrote history." You can feel Judge Lauren tracking every contradiction like it's a closing argument.
I do, in fact, actually, I have cheated on him. I'm gonna admit that, but he knew from the get-go, like, look, my past, I grew up in foster care. I didn't have the best childhood, but he knew when we first got together that in order to move forward, I told him everything.
Then comes the 6-month bomb. Ms. Fuentes says Rash took the kids and wouldn't let her see them. Rash says he stepped in because she was out partying instead of parenting. He's emotional but steady. Diapers, clothes, late nights, he handled it. Just look at his face here. This isn't performative. This is a man terrified these kids might not even be his.
I mean, right
so
there.
Did you confront her?
Yeah, I confront her. She gets mad and we get, you know,
We were not
she
together,
done.
Your Honor. My issues that I did sleep around and that this family meant a lot to me, whether or not I slept with her 5 sons or not.
It doesn't even matter.
He talks about being an auto mechanic, doing mobile work, shop work, whatever it took. Ms. Fuentes immediately undercuts him, claims he was always getting fired and beat up by his bosses. It turns from resume review to roast battle fast. Judge Lauren drags it back. Whatever his flaws, he's the one who's been consistently present for these little girls.
In your mind, in your opinion, you felt like we're together.
Yeah, we're
together. And so during the time of conception, you think you're still in a relationship.
Yeah, and then she said that, you know, like all of a sudden now we ain't together.
Then Ms. Fuentes casually drops that she was never truly in love with Rash. Judge Lauren is stunned. If that's the case, why marry him? Why bring children into it? Ms. Fuentes says she tried to make it work. Rash looks crushed. Things got rocky quickly, and you can feel the foundation of this whole relationship cracking in real-time drama overload.
I did take them for 6 months because I felt like she wasn't being a mother. She wanted to sit there and go out and have sex and drink.
That's what he wanted to
and
think.
go have fun and party and stuff like that.
You
And
took
then
it on.
she left him.
No.
Now we get the infamous 4th of July setup. Ms. Fuentes describes going to a picnic with a family she's close to. One of the sons is her ex. Another son, Chuck, is there. Vibes are good. And by the end of the night, she and Chuck have sex. Rash is like, if you loved one brother, why sleep with another? Valid question. This isn't a love triangle. It's a family tree issue.
He don't know what he's doing.
I do mobile. I even work at shops.
So you say you held a job?
Yes, ma'am.
And you contribute to the household and
ma'am.
support your
Yes,
children.
ma'am.
Mr. Rash, you have the children.
Yes, ma'am.
You're raising them.
Yes, ma'am.
Jerome brings in Mr. Judd, Chuck. He calmly confirms he slept with Ms. Fuentes and says they were basically just family friends. He doesn't think the child looks like him. Judge Lauren points out the conception timing lines up perfectly. Rash hears this, and you can practically see his stomach drop. I mean, just look at that reaction. Pure, "Are you kidding me?" energy.
I mean, like, regardless that I don't want them to think any different of me.
It's good intentions, but the way he goes about things, he's too busy worrying about what me and him is going to do.
You have
He
another man's
does not take the
to
best
your body.
Then we meet the legend herself, Chuck's mother. She loves Ms. Fuentes, loves the kids, and yes, confirms several of her sons were involved. She suggests Chuck might deny paternity out of embarrassment. She's defending Ms. Fuentes while also low-key exposing her boys. You could cut this awkward awkward loyalty tangle with a knife.
Me and him had gotten in an argument because he was too busy accusing me, oh, you did this to the mailman.
I didn't even accuse you of anything at that point.
Anything.
I didn't even know any of that.
He accuses me of doing anything, you know what I mean? To make himself feel better, he likes to pick and choose.
Mom explains she sees the kids as grandbabies, Ms. Fuentes as a daughter, and calls out her sons for taking turns. Judge Lauren labels it what it is, an embarrassment factor. Meanwhile, Rash is standing there, listening to how his wife allegedly worked her way through a 10-son lineup. Talk about messy, and we still don't have answers.
But if you were such in love with the other brother, why would you have sex with the other brother?
To be honest with you, what do you mean? I wasn't in love with that brother.
Listen, I want to hear from the brother she actually admits to having sex to. I want to hear what he has to say. Jerome, will you please escort?
Judge Lauren narrows it down. 2 children, multiple possible fathers, a husband who signed on in good faith. She asks what everyone wants. Chuck's mom hopes her son is the father. Rash desperately wants both children to be his. Ms. Fuentes claims she just wants the truth because she's confused. For once, Rash says that's the first honest thing he's heard from her.
I'll ask this just because you are in the courtroom, sir, and I want to hear directly from you. Did you have sex with Ms. Fuentes?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, what was the nature of your relationship?
Pretty much just family friend.
And so, just a family friend. Do you believe you're her child's father?
Not really.
We shift to the legal side. Christina was born during the marriage, so Rash is the presumed father. He says that's exactly why he married Ms. Fuentes. He believed he was stepping up for his baby. He swears he never cheated, always showed up, always loved them. His voice cracks just enough that you feel it. Heartbreaking stuff. This is a man begging reality to match his effort.
My other daughter came about, that could have been a possibility.
We understand.
This is...
All right, we're going to have the results in a moment. You may take a seat. Thank you so much. Mrs. Judd, will you please step up to the podium?
Asked what he wants today, Rash says he just wants his kids to be his and vows to keep doing what he's been doing. Judge Lauren asks if he still wants a relationship with Ms. Fuentes. He's done. Ms. Fuentes says she's confused and wants clarity. They spiral back into bickering until Judge Lauren shuts it down with one promise. The DNA will give them what their stories haven't: truth.
So she had sex with several of your sons. What do you feel about that?
She'll do anything in the world for me, and I'll do anything in the world for her. I love her children. Her children look at me like a grandmother.
Now it's results time prep. Judge Lauren recaps: repeated cheating, multiple brothers, a fractured marriage, a devoted dad in doubt, and kids stuck in the middle. The envelopes land on the bench like a final boss. Everyone stiffens. Rash gripping the podium, Ms. Fuentes visibly shaking, Mr. Judd locked in. Cue the drum roll, because this is the moment everything tilts.
Everybody puts her down, you know, I can understand sometimes, you know what I mean? But my boys has got to understand it takes 2 people to tango, if you know what I mean. And if they didn't take their turns, if you know what I mean.
She opens the first envelope and begins to read. The courtroom is silent. You can see Rash searching her face for hope, Ms. Fuentes bracing, Chuck trying not to flinch. Whatever those words are, they land hard. Faces change instantly. Relief here, shock there. But I'm not spoiling who's what. All you need to know is this first result hits like a truck.
I do feel like that because of the multiple cheating on me and whatnot.
Being that she was born within the marriage, you were presumed to be her father. There's a presumption of paternity. You signed
That's the reason why I married her.
Then comes the second envelope, the one that could completely redraw this family's map. Judge Lauren reads slowly, deliberately, eyes locked on the parties. As the result drops, Rash explodes emotionally. Ms. Fuentes breaks down, and Chuck is forced to confront reality. This one turns the tension into an earthquake.
When it comes to 1-year-old Christina, Mr. Rash, you are her father.
If you thought one affair was messy, imagine juggling a wife, a mistress, and a girlfriend, all while denying multiple babies. That's exactly what's happening today in Reed v. Austin. Ms. Reed is suing Ms. Austin for $5,000, claiming her affair with Reed's husband wrecked her marriage and finances. Ms. Austin insists Reed should mind her own bills. Oh, the drama starts early.
Ms. Reed, you are demanding that Ms. Austin have a paternity test administered on her child, whom she claims was fathered by your estranged husband.
Yes, Your Honor.
You're hoping the DNA test will prove that your husband is not her baby's father.
Ms. Reed recalls coming home from the hospital, baby in arms, hormones high, and answering her man's phone. On the other end, Ms. Austin calmly saying, "I'm his girlfriend." You can almost feel the heat rising through the screen. Reed says she packed up the kids and left, but of course, she took him back later. Girl, no. Judge Lake's eyebrows say it all.
How did you find out about Ms. Austin?
Okay, Your Honor, I found out about Mrs. Austin. One day I came in from the hospital from having my second child, and Rael's phone rang, and I just so happened to answer the phone. And Mrs. Austin, she said, "I'm Rael's girlfriend." I said, "Rael's girlfriend? Did you know that Rael was engaged to me?"
Ms. Austin swears she didn't know he was engaged when they started talking, but somehow she didn't stop after finding out either. Instead, she blames Reed, saying, "If she was taking care of home, he wouldn't be calling me?" Whew! Even Judge Lake needed a moment to process that one. The audacity levels are off the charts.
But I forgave him again, knowing it was wrong, and got back in a relationship with him.
You took him back again?
Yes.
You then married him?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Ms. Austin, how did you get involved with a married man? We hear it may have started before the marriage and continued.
When I met Rael, they was not married.
Reed fires back that only a woman with no shame plays the side piece knowingly. Austin shrugs it off, saying Wallace told her he only stayed for Reed's money, and apparently she was sending him cash too. Cash he was using to take his wife out. I mean, you can't make this stuff up.
Your Honor, that means that she didn't mind playing the role as his little mistress, because any woman wouldn't sit there and be in a relationship with a man that has a woman. Like, as me as myself.
Ms. Austin, what's your response to that?
Well, he led me on. When they was married, Rael was calling, he was texting me, telling me how he wants to get away from Dominique. The reason why he said he was with her is because of her money. That's what he said.
Then Ms. Reed admits something wild. She got revenge. Yup, she went out and talked to Ms. Austin's ex-boyfriend. "I did it to hurt them both," she says proudly. I mean, Judge Lake's face in this moment could launch 1,000 memes. This courtroom has officially entered soap opera territory.
My ex-boyfriend, the ones who she go with down. I don't know if they go together.
Oh, wait now. Say that again?
Yes, the man that's the other person who they say that is my daughter, Muriel's father, is her man, then my ex that she is dating now.
Your Honor, I can explain that out of revenge. At the time, Rael was cheating on me with her.
Cue the man of the hour, Mr. Wallace, the husband, the common denominator, the chaos coordinator. He strolls in like nothing's wrong. Judge Lake asks, "You have no remorse?" His answer, "No, ma'am." The courtroom gasps. This man is colder than a freezer in Antarctica.
How you doing?
Mr. Wallace, let me ask, you married to Ms. Reed,
Yes.
but you were sleeping with Ms. Austin.
Yes.
You had a baby with Ms. Reed. You might have a baby with Ms. Austin.
Allegedly.
You busy. You just standing there, Mr. Wallace, like you don't have a piece of remorse in the world.
He admits to sleeping with both women, but insists his wife doesn't cook, doesn't clean, and I was bored. Sir, that's not a justification. That's a confession. Judge Lake nearly drops her gavel. Ms. Reed claps back, saying if he was that bored, he could have stayed at his mama's house instead of hers.
First off, she wasn't a good wife. She barely cooks, she doesn't clean. I cheated because I was bored in my marriage. I was too young to get married in the first place.
So why did you get married?
Because I felt like it was the right thing to do, because I was being pressured and I had 3 kids with her. So
Correction, Your Honor. If you was pressured to be in a relationship with me, why did you constantly come home to me? Why did you constantly, every time I got off work, was there, and you could have left and went home to your mother, your sister, or whoever the case may be?
When asked if he believes Austin's baby is his, Wallace says, "No, ma'am," without hesitation. Austin, arms crossed, shoots back. "The baby looks just like him." The side-eye exchange here deserves its own Emmy. Even the audience leans in, ready for DNA truth.
Don't you say no, boy, and she look just like you. She look just like you. She got everything. Everything you want, she got on that, everything.
she looked like the other guy, who is currently her boyfriend.
I had sex with Rael first, and I used unprotected sex with Rael, and I used protected sex with the other boy. But
Your Honor, she's lying. The boy told me that he had unprotected sex with Demiriel several times because he do not like to use protection.
Ms. Reed tears up talking about her kids. She says they didn't ask for this chaos, and they're the ones hurting. For a second, the courtroom softens, until Judge Lake reminds everyone there are more women claiming Mr. Wallace's paternity. The tension shifts from pity to, oh no, not again.
I feel like
like ever since Mariel had other kids on my kids get the short end of the stick. They rarely see their dad. Like when I take them to see him, I have to like leave them with him in order for them to spend time with their father. So I feel like before her child even got in the picture, Mariel was there for my kids for whatever. Like watched them, gave them whatever.
Who walks in looking like she's got receipts. She claims she also has Wallace's baby. The crowd collectively gasps. Wallace looks like a man wishing for teleportation. Reed mutters, "I told you," while Austin folds her arms like, "Welcome to the club."
She didn't know what was going on, like she said. Mariel was sitting up lying to her, so I can't really blame her. But then again, I can because she knew all about me and still slept with my husband.
It's not her fault we're not together, it's your fault.
And you're right, it's my fault because I left you. That's why we're not together, because I left you and went out and talked to someone else.
Ms. Roberts tells Judge Lake she met Wallace while he was still living with Reed, and he swore he was single. The courtroom laughs in disbelief. Even Judge Lake has to pause mid-note to glare at him. This man's double life has turned into a triple feature.
You also have a 5-month-old child that you say was fathered by Mr. Wallace, but he's denying that child as well.
Yes.
Hold on 1 second, just 1 second. We're gonna get down to the bottom of this, but first, I need to deal with the people in front of me. You have a suit where you are suing Ms. Austin for alienation of affection.
As Judge Lake reviews the alienation of affection claim, Reed says her marriage fell apart financially because of Wallace's infidelity. Austin keeps smirking, and you can practically hear Judge Lake's patience evaporating. I mean, who smiles in court like it's a game show?
As per these results prepared by DNA Diagnostics, in the case of Reed versus Austin, when it comes to baby Demuriel, Mr. Wallace, you are her father.
Told you, dummy. She looks just like you, dummy. Everything, dummy.
Then comes the moment of truth, the first DNA envelope. The courtroom goes silent, everyone holding their breath. Reed glares at Austin. Austin leans forward. Confident Wallace looks like he's waiting for a miracle that probably isn't coming. Judge Lake slowly opens the paper.
Stop talking.
You
No,
did
I don't
too.
gotta
Shut
stop
up.
talking. I wasn't opening her streets because mine was already oh, you talking to her?
Oh, you.
No,
Now
you're
listen.
not. You're not talking to me because mine's already been in.
Let's get some order. You all have 3 children together. Now we know you, Mr. Wallace, have another one. And maybe one sitting right here with this young lady. The fact that when you got this result,
Before anyone can exhale, chaos breaks out. Shouting, finger-pointing, and tears. Judge Lake raises her voice just to restore order. "There are children involved," she scolds, her tone slicing through the tension. You could cut this energy with a knife, and yet no one's learned a thing.
Ms. Roberts, Mr. Wallace, I am gonna send you to DNA Diagnostics today because I want to get down to the bottom of whether or not you, Mr. Wallace, are in fact her child's father. That would give you 2 5-month-old children. Court is adjourned. I will see you back in this courtroom with the DNA results.
And just when you think it's over, another test looms. Ms. Roberts wants her baby tested next. Judge Lake shakes her head in disbelief, saying, "This court has never seen a case so tangled in lies, betrayal, and babies." Wallace stays stone-faced, like he's starring in his own drama special. The suspense is at its peak, and that's where we'll leave it.
That if the results come back negative, you would like her to stay away from you and your current girlfriend, Ms. Austin. Now, you are here once again to find out if your husband, Mr. Wallace, is the father of yet another child. Please tell the court how you met the defendant and ended up in this situation.
I met him around my auntie's house.
Mr. Hicks walks into paternity court like a man on a mission. He's here to prove he is the father of 2-year-old Lynn, the little girl he cut the cord for, signed for, and loved as his own. But Ms. Navarez? She's coolly insisting Lynn belongs to her lover, Mr. Osorio. High school sweethearts, a marriage, a baby, and now a love triangle in court. Talk about messy. Roll the clip.
Mr. Hicks.
Hello.
You have brought your ex-wife to court and requested a paternity test to prove that you are indeed the biological father of her baby. Is it Yazeline? Beautiful. Who was born during your marriage. You state you are the only father she has known from cutting the cord in the hospital.
Immediately, the showdown starts. Hicks explains he believed Lynn was his because she was conceived during the marriage, while Navarez keeps repeating, "She's not yours," like it's her new ringtone. She points at Lynn's complexion, claiming the baby looks like her, not him. I mean, just look at their faces. Hicks is hurt, confused, and Navarez is locked in defense mode, tension already rising.
All right, now, Mr. Hicks, please tell the court how you were deceived.
How I was deceived is that she said that the baby, I believe that the baby is mine. Because the baby was made while we were married. And you try to say that the baby isn't ours, I don't believe that.
Now Hicks breaks down the timeline. He says Valentine's Day was active, repeatedly, in that 2-bedroom apartment. No doubt in his mind he could be the father, but Navarez counters with her own version. Last intimacy, gaps in contact, and then Danny, aka Mr. Osorio, enters the picture. Everyone is basically arguing over a calendar at this point, drama overload.
Right after
and now you want to come when she's 2 years old and say that she's yours?
Let me ask you this. When she told you she was pregnant, what did she tell you?
When she told me that she was pregnant, she said that the baby was yours. Because when she got pregnant, it was on Valentine's Day. We were having sex consecutively in our 2-bedroom apartment. You're talking about it didn't happen, but yet on Valentine's Day.
Then we get the bomb. Navarez admits she was already pregnant when she proposed to Hicks. Proposed while pregnant. With a baby she claims she knew wasn't his, even Judge Lake stops like, "Ma'am, you left that part out." Someone from Osorio's side calls her a whore. The judge instantly shuts that down, but the damage is done. The manipulation conversation is on the table now.
You knew or you didn't know that that was not his baby?
I knew the baby's not his.
And
I lost in contact with Daniel.
She lost
so
in contact.
I stayed
I want to hear who proposed to whom?
I proposed to him, Your Honor, because he couldn't man up and do it himself.
While you were pregnant?
While I was pregnant,
Your Honor.
With a baby that you knew was another man?
A whore.
Hicks fires back with receipts of the heart. He cut the cord. He gave Lynn his last name. He stepped in, fully believing this was his child. His voice cracks just enough that you can feel it. This man is holding on to fatherhood with both hands. He can't understand why. If he wasn't the father, Navarez let him do all that. Can someone pass the tissues, please?
Why did you let me cut the cord? Why did you give the baby?
So you can have your last name back. We don't want it.
The only way you're gonna get it back is if the baby.
I'm gonna get it back. Best believe.
If it's proven.
You gonna
Until
get it back.
then, hush. I wanted to be a father to my kids, and I believe that she was having my kids because we were together at that time.
Now they're arguing about money and parenting. Hicks says he worked security, did what he could, spent checks on the family. Navarez says by the time his check came, it was gone, and she was basically carrying everything. Meanwhile, he insists Lynn looks like him when he was young, while she swears Lynn looks like Osorio. You could cut this tension with a knife over a baby picture.
Okay, so it wasn't a manipulation from the start.
Not the whole thing.
There was
love
time
at the beginning
when there was love. Okay.
Well, Your Honor, she trying to put it off like as if I wasn't providing for her, but we were staying at our house, not her mother's house. Also had a job working security down below.
Part-time.
Part-time is better than no time.
Enter Carla Hicks, and she does not come to play. She starts detailing Navarez's mysterious babysitting trips where she'd leave, come back in minutes with $100. Repeating this multiple times, the way Judge Lake's eyebrows lift, elite. Hicks looks stunned, Navarez looks offended, and suddenly we're side-eyeing that babysitting story real hard.
Okay, so what happens when it comes out that you're not the daddy? You gonna look stupid as hell.
No, you're gonna look like a whore. No. I heard exactly rumors about her.
What rumors did you hear?
I heard that when I would go, to work on the weekends, that she would be sneaking people in my house.
Carla keeps swinging, implying something way worse than babysitting, and Navarez fires right back. If she's so terrible, why did Hicks stay for almost 6 years? The courtroom turns into a verbal ping-pong match. Accusations, sarcasm, and a whole lot of, "you should have known better." I mean, just look at that reaction from Hicks. He's realizing these stories might not be new, just ignored.
And I'm talking about, I'm gonna go watch the kids for a couple hours, babe. I'll be back and I'm gonna get $100 for it. She left, she came back in about 5-10 minutes talking about, they didn't need me to watch him anymore, but they gave me $100. Then she did it. She was doing it like every day.
She did it like 5 or 6 times.
Every day.
You understand? She was saying this, I'm gonna go watch these kids tonight.
Judge Lake steps in before this becomes a full reunion episode. She redirects the chaos to the real issue, Lynn. She checks Navarez for her attitude and pushes everyone to focus on facts, not just insults. Navarez claims the relationship problems are between her and Hicks and blames everyone else for dragging Osorio into it. This is classic deflect and redirect behavior on display.
And I know it probably is hard for you to hear what they allege about you.
Irrelevant. I don't care.
If it's irrelevant, don't curse in my courtroom when you hear it. Popping off like everything somebody's saying is messing with your mind so much that you have to be disrespectful. Just listen.
I don't know why
hear your side of the story now.
It's between me and him, like I've told them from the get-go.
That's what I'm trying to hear. You explain to me what your problem is with Miss Hicks.
Now it's Osorio's turn. He explains he was told Navarez wasn't really with Hicks and that she wasn't living with her husband. He believed he was stepping up for a woman separated from her ex. He proudly talks about being there for Lynn, helping raise her, defining fatherhood as time and presence, not just biology. You can tell he genuinely feels attached. This isn't casual for him at all.
Was there anything she was hiding from you when she met you? So everything about her life
she told me she didn't have no sexual contact with him. She wasn't living with him. Even her mom told me she wasn't living with him.
She was lying.
You know what I'm saying?
So when you met Ms. Navarez, you knew she was a married woman, but she just was not living with her husband. That's what you heard.
Hicks pushes back hard. He says Navarez once told him Lynn wasn't his, and that's when he demanded a DNA test. He reminds everyone, if he wasn't the father, why did she let him sign the birth certificate, cut the cord, and give Lynn his name? You can hear the frustration. This man feels played, and honestly, watching him lay that out hurts. Heartbreaking stuff.
If the baby wasn't mine, why did I sign the birth certificate? Why did I cut the cord? Why does the baby have my last name? I didn't leave my child. I was kicked out because somebody wanted to move me out of my house. Get into that house. She kicked me out of my house, took me out of my daughter's life. I didn't eject myself.
Okay, but when you would come and pick a baby, but you could have asked how she's doing. Call, make a phone call. Is she okay? Does she need something? What kind of father would have asked about his daughter for 2 years?
Then comes the question of effort. Navarez claims Hicks never called, never asked about Lynn, never offered help. Hicks insists he did ask, especially while picking up their son Robert, but says Navarez hid information and kept Lynn away. Judge Lake is not letting either of them slide. She's pointing out holes on both sides. You can feel everyone squirm under that truth spotlight.
It's weird how the fact that she tried to say that I never asked her about her, because I've been picking up my son, little Robert, for forever right now. For 2 years. For 2 years. For 2 years, I've been picking up my son.
And you could have asked about it.
And yet she didn't even tell me. She wouldn't even tell me that the baby didn't even exist. She don't want me around the baby. It's not me that want to be around the baby. I love my kids.
Judge Lake now lays out the contradictions. On one side, a man begging to be acknowledged as Lynn's dad. On the other, a mother who says he's not the father, but is still angry at him, like he should have been. Plus, Osorio is fully in Lynn's life. It's emotional, chaotic, and nobody in that courtroom looks certain anymore. Talk about messy layered on messy.
On the one hand, Mr. Hicks is saying that you are this child's father and you want to be her father, and yet I'm not hearing about enough instances where you made the effort to actually see and spend time with
the street from me.
Finally, Judge Lake explains the legal stakes. Since Lynn was born during the marriage, Hicks is presumed to be the father. Most men come in trying to escape that. Hicks is fighting to keep it. That alone cranks the drama up. She calls for the envelope. The entire courtroom goes still, and you can see it on every face. Whatever is inside those results is about to change lives.
You have to find a way to communicate better, both of you, with one another. And whether or not you like Mr. Osorio or if Mr. Osorio likes you, you all gotta grow up and just get through it for the kids. Has nothing to do with it. For the kids.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be good for the kids.
Ms. Coe walks into paternity court done. She tells Judge Lake her teenage daughter Za is out of control, disrespectful, dangerous, and, oh yeah, she doesn't believe devoted boyfriend Mr. Boyce is really baby Christian's father, Za. On the other side, is confident Boyce is the dad and begs the court to make her mom stop meddling. The stakes? A 7-month-old baby and a family on the edge. Drama unlocked immediately.
Hello, Your Honor. This is a case of Coe versus Coe.
Thank you, Jerome.
You're welcome.
Good day, everyone. Today we have the case of Coe v. Coe, mother versus daughter. Miss Coe, you say you're here today because your daughter is an out-of-control teenager and she needs help. Furthermore, you claim that you have serious doubts that your daughter's boyfriend, Mr. Boyce, is the father of your 7-month-old grandson. You say Mr. Boyce has been a good...
We jump straight into Za's greatest hits file. Ms. Coe lists school fights and, wait for it, Za punching a police officer, twice. Judge Lake is stunned. The officer could have charged her with a felony, but didn't. Za shrugs it off. He got in the way. I mean, that's one way to describe assault. You can see Judge Lake mentally circling, "This is why we're here today."
You have asked the court to order your mother to stop meddling in your life once and for all. Now, Ms. Cole, please tell the court why you're here today.
I'm here because my daughter is out of control. She has an issue with authority. She doesn't want to be told what to do, how to do, or why to do it.
Give me specific instances.
Okay, from fights at school, hitting a police officer, not once, but twice.
Then comes the house disaster. Ms. Coe says Za called people claiming mom and her girlfriend jumped her, and the cavalry showed up with violence, every window smashed, car destroyed, home wrecked. Just 1 week before Ms. Coe's surgery. Judge Lake looks at the photos like she's staring at riot footage. Za swears she never told them to destroy anything. Talk about messy consequences.
Made a phone call saying I and my girlfriend had jumped on her because she still did not want to follow house rules. All I asked her to do was not disrespect the house. Don't bring the drama to the house.
I feel that's not the truth.
You brought drama to the house.
That's not
You
the
made a
truth.
phone call saying my mother and her girlfriend just jumped on me.
We pivot into deep emotional wounds. Za says she grew up with her dad because mom abandoned her at 2 years old. Ms. Coe strongly denies it and says she had visitation and never missed a beat. Two completely different stories, one tiny space. Judge Lake presses, did they ever have a positive relationship? Za basically says no. You can feel the resentment sitting in the front row.
That's me standing on the porch trying to take a picture because now I'm upset and I'm like, you know what? I cannot believe my daughter is gonna allow this to happen.
And I couldn't believe your girlfriend jumped on me and I was pregnant. So
she didn't jump on you. They didn't jump. They broke out windows. They hit me with a brick. I got hit in the back of the head.
What? And I also stopped them. I didn't think they was gonna do that to the house. I didn't say mess the house up.
Now, the hangout house storyline. Ms. Coe says Za moved a whole group into their basement. Boys everywhere. 7 people at one point. Za claps back. If y'all had a problem, y'all should have put them out. I was a child. And that's when Judge Lake calls it what it is. Chaos, no structure, and a setup for exactly the kind of situation that lands them in paternity court.
I never missed a beat.
Did you ever have a positive relationship?
No, not really. She's always been resentful.
I feel like I had
always been resentful. Always been resentful.
Sometimes.
I'm not here to, you move them boys in our house.
If y'all had a problem, y'all would have put them out. If y'all had a problem, y'all would have enforced the rules and put them out, did something. I'm a child, like you said, I'm a child. If it was a problem, you should have put them out.
Here's where paternity enters the chat. Za admits one of those guys, Larry, was someone she messed with when she and her boyfriend had issues. Ms. Coe confirms she went straight to Larry like, look, as her mom, I'm keeping it 100. You need a DNA test. Za even told Larry there was a possibility he was the father, so Boyce is not the only name on the board, and mom is not crazy for questioning it.
Everybody was living there. That was the hangout spot. That's where you go, you running away or you ain't got nowhere to stay, you gonna come there.
Now, you're hanging out with these guys. Are you hanging out just as friends or are any of them more than friends?
One of them was the guy I was dating, the other one was just friends. They were dating my other 2 friends.
So that brings us to why we're here, because now you have a grandchild.
But it's not just one guy. That's what she's saying.
Then we get the emotional gut punch. After all the chaos and damage, Ms. Coe moved to Arizona. 2 months later, Za called her, alone, pregnant, scared, needing her mom. You can literally see Ms. Coe's walls drop as she recalls it. Judge Lake gently tells her to let Za speak, and Za finally admits she needed her. That vulnerability? Powerful. This isn't just paternity. It's a broken bond begging to heal.
Me, I was being real and I said, I'm not gonna lie, but there is a possibility. This baby could be someone else. I didn't just say you're the father, you're the father. I said it's a possibility because I did do something. I did mess up and I did slip and mess around with somebody else.
So you have a boyfriend now, and that boyfriend may or may not be the father of your child.
Judge Lake asks Za what she wants for Christian. Za says she doesn't want him growing up like she did, or running the streets. She wants both parents in his life. Judge Lake listens, acknowledges the pain, and then calls in the key player, Mr. Boyce, the boyfriend who's been stepping up and is one of the potential fathers. Time to see where his heart and his head are.
I don't have anybody. She's about to have my grandson. What do we do? And then she still didn't want to do.
What do you feel? It's
The only
okay.
rule I have
let her speak, Mom. What do you feel, sweetie? Tell me. You needed your mom? That's okay. We all need our mom. You don't have to feel ashamed about that.
I was there for you.
Boyce steps up to the podium, and you can tell immediately this isn't an act. He talks about loving Christian, how the baby helped him grow, especially after his mother passed away. His mom had already claimed Christian as her grandbaby. He's hoping the test proves Christian is his. I mean, just look at his face. This man is all in.
We're also going to help encourage you. Your mom feels your pain. And I know you may feel like she doesn't love you, but if you look over at her right now, she's crying your same tears because just like you love your child, she loves you. I know you brought a witness today, Mr. Boyce, am I correct? Jerome, could you please escort Mr. Boyce into the courtroom for us? I want to hear from him.
Judge Lake gives Boyce his flowers. She tells him most young men in his situation come in hoping not to be the father, but he's different. He's choosing love and responsibility despite uncertainty. She praises him for being a stand-up man and a real father figure. You can feel the whole room respecting him, but then she reminds him, with all this uncertainty, he's allowed to have doubts
of this particular child, but we also know that this child is very important to you.
Yeah, he really is.
Am I correct?
Yes.
Please tell the court about that.
I feel like from the beginning I knew it was a possibility, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying, he made me grow more, you know what I'm saying, since he been around. Cause my mom, she passed away. Once I told her about it, you know what I'm saying, she just, oh, that's my grandbaby.
Boyce finally explains those doubts. When conception likely happened, he and Za weren't even together. She was with someone else. He claims he always keeps a condom and suggests he might have used one, but then admits he was under the influence and doesn't really remember Sir. That is not the solid defense you think it is. Judge Lake hears it. Za is locked and loaded.
And I first want to commend you before we get any result of the man that you are, the man that you are growing and becoming, the fact that you can give love to a child that does have uncertainty as it relates to who their father is, but that you understand that love can come from forms, fashions, and people.
Za jumps in and absolutely ruins his safe sex storyline. She says he did not use condoms with her. The first time, second time, third time, nothing. She's practically rolling out a highlight reel of unprotected receipts while Boyce tries to salvage his reputation. Judge Lake even jokes he's messing up his own image. You could cut this awkward tension with a knife. Drama overload.
I'm really, really proud of you. I really am. I want you to know that. And you know who else is? And as, you know, as much of a stand-up man, you know, you're being in this decision, in this situation, I should say, you're being a really mature individual.
With all cards on the table, Judge Lake sums it up. Za admitted another possible father. Mom has been pushing for the truth. Boyce has stepped up but has every reason to question biology. The future of this baby, emotionally, financially, spiritually, is on the line. She asks Jerome for the envelope. Everyone goes quiet. You can feel the air shift, cue the drum roll in your soul.
I can't really say if I used it or not because I was under the influence, like, tough.
So you don't remember if the sex you had was safe sex?
Yes.
And the defendant...
I know it wasn't, because the first time, even when you wasn't under the influence, you didn't use it.
Was you drunk?
What about the first time?
Was you drunk?
What about the first time?
Was you drunk?
No.
Okay, the first time, that was something else.
Did you use one? No. The second time? No. The third time? No.
Here we go. Judge Lake reads, when it comes to baby Christian, Mr. Boyce. Za freezes. Ms. Coe looks scared of what the truth might be. Boyce can feel the world halt around him, but only the results will set things straight.
When it comes to baby Christian, Mr. Boyce, you are not the father.
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
I'm still his father.